that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what Whole Hog Barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Let me tell you a thing or two about the people who don't compromise. For starters, they love a nice, cold Pepsi Zero Sugar. Why? Because it's delicious, it's refreshing, and it has zero sugar. How's that for not compromising? They're the sort of person that likes surf with their turf. Because who decided beef shouldn't have a buddy? And the drink with their feast? Yeah, they have a Pepsi Zero Sugar. The person who doesn't compromise loves a good golden doodle. All the golden retriever goodness with just a hint of doodle. No compromises there. Oh, and when they're bringing said golden doodle for a walk, they bring a Pepsi Zero Sugar. They're the kind of person jorts were made for. 50% jeans, 50% shorts, 100% the most comfortable thing that's ever graced your wardrobe. Not compromising never looked so good. So crack open a Pepsi Zero Sugar and taste what it's like to have it all. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Zero sugar done right. That's what I like.
Live from Las Vegas, here's Matt Peralt.
Pushing the Odds is brought to you by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage with you every step of the way to provide a seamless mortgage experience. Okay, Miami-Dade Mayor Carlos Jimenez, I think they say it right, has told the Miami Marlins that upon their arrival in Miami, they will be quarantined for 14 days. So, yeah. How do you play baseball? I mean, the Marlins might need to be removed from Major League Baseball. Which, again, that's what happened when the MLS bubble got bursted by 2 teams that had massive outbreaks. They were removed from play. Now, that was from a tournament, but they were removed. I think you have to start to consider removing the Miami Marlins from Major League Baseball. And then we're going to decide the season as we go, literally make it up on the fly. And I don't want it to happen, but this doesn't seem like you can do this. You shut them down for 2 weeks, and they miss 15 games of a 60-game schedule. I mean, that's impossible. Like, you just can't have them, even if you're doing it with winning percentages. And that's how you're going to determine the winner. You can't do it like that. You can't just do it with winning percentages because that's not enough games. Everyone else plays 55, 50, 60, and the Marlins play what? 45? I mean, 40? How's that fair? That's not going to work. So, to me, I think it's important to have that conversation now with the Miami Marlins that it might just be time to shut them down and just say, guys, let's get everyone healthy. Let's look at the Philadelphia Phillies. How can you deal with the Phillies? But I really think that you got to consider shutting down the Marlins entirely. I will ask that question of Dr. Zachary Binney, a guy who's been on the forefront of this conversation about sports and the virus transmission. Has been on this show a couple times. He joins us in the next hour. Pushing the odds. Don't move. Sports App Radio.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. The following is an exclusive presentation of Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Welcome to Pirate Radio Live.
You can paint this with purple!
Now live from the Pirate Radio studios in the heart of the Pirate Nation, here is your host, Clip Brock.
Hello, everyone, and welcome in to a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here inside the new and improved Pirate Radio studios and coming to you on Pirate Radio 92.7 FM in Greenville, 104.1
in Washington. Live online, pr927fm.com. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live as well, as you can chime in on today's program. A lot of guests to get to coming up. Later on in hour number 1, we'll talk about the world of sports from a gambling perspective with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. Coming up at 4 o'clock, we will talk to, for the first time on Pirate Radio, the new assistant basketball coach at East Carolina, Antwon Jackson. He's able to be on the court with his guys a little bit since ECU resumed athletics activities last Wednesday. We'll talk about that and get to know Coach Jackson a little bit. Coming up at 4 o'clock, Stephen Igoe going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour as well. And Bryant Packard, former D.H. Conley Viking, former Pirate, now a member of the Tigers organization, going to join us at 5 o'clock here inside the Pirate Radio studio. So we got a packed show for you today. Shirley Rhodes, Glenn Griffin producing, and Billy Weaver joining us to kick things off on the Fixed NC Live line. Weave, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, Cliff. How about yourself?
Doing all right, Billy. And I don't know if we should start local or just get into the baseball wackiness that's going on. I guess we'll start with Major League Baseball because news is coming out by the hour regarding the Miami Marlins and where they are with this Major League Baseball season and what that means for everybody else. So I guess bottom line, Bob Nightingale tweeted about an hour ago that the Miami Marlins season has officially been paused. The team has 19 positive test results, 19 players testing positive for COVID-19. The team will be in quarantine. I just saw, Billy, that about 10 minutes ago, the Miami-Dade mayor said the Marlins should follow the 14-day quarantine protocol when they return to South Florida. So they might not be playing a game for quite a while. And on top of that, we'll try to figure these schedules out. But again, according to Bob Nightingale on Twitter, the Marlins outbreak has created a traveling secretary's nightmare. The Marlins will be sidelined for a week, or possibly more. The Phillies are off until Friday. The Nationals are off the entire weekend. And the Yankees will now be playing the Orioles in Baltimore instead of playing the Phillies at home. I can't figure it all out right now, Weave, so we'll just see what happens when it all comes to pass. But what a mess just a few days into this Major League Baseball season.
Well, I tell you what it bodes well for is the NFL. And the reason I say that is because since the NFL is going to be the last of the big four leagues to get going, they have the opportunity and kind of the advantage right now to sit back and see what's happening with the other leagues. If you look at the NHL, those teams just this week on Monday went into their bubbles. There's two bubbles, one in Edmonton and one in Toronto. And they split up the 24 teams in each one of those cities to go in their bubbles. Major League Soccer, which is not one of the major big four, but the NBA as well, is down in Orlando in their bubble. Now, if you look at the NBA and the NHL specifically, they've been pretty good with the COVID-19 test. As a matter of fact, the NHL came out yesterday and for the second time have said they had no positive tests with any players, coaches, or any other staffs in the bubbles. Major League Baseball, as you know, didn't go into any sort of bubble. They just didn't go into spring trainings in Florida, in Arizona, which was probably a good thing. But they're playing all their home games in their home stadiums. So they're not really, they're playing without fans, but they're still not isolated and they're not in a bubble. So I think this is an opportunity for the NFL to kind of take a step back and say, you know what, we might want to look at this bubble thing because obviously with Major League Baseball, it's not working. Now, you could, of course, use the argument that Florida is a hot spot right now for COVID-19. They're going to have an outbreak. Chances were it was going to be the Miami Marlins, and that definitely happened. So it's crazy right now, and, it looks like Miami is, I would say, if I had to guess right now, and, of course, there's so much guessing going on right now with coronavirus, this COVID-19 pandemic, that nobody really knows. But if I had to guess, it's looking like about 3 weeks off the field for the Marlins, because if you figure it's going to take a week for them to get situated and get back to Miami, and if what the Miami-Dade mayor says, they have to be quarantined once they get into the state of Florida for 14 days that's 3 weeks right there without baseball in Miami.
Man, and it's kind of showing you a lot of side effects here too. It shows you that just because one team is affected, it's not just them alone. Like the Orioles are awaiting an opponent. They can't play due to the Marlins outbreak. The Phillies just played the Marlins, so they're kind of sitting around. They're getting tested, Billy, to see if they were affected. So they're not playing, and their opponent was going to be the Yankees, who can't play either. So it's a domino effect. The other thing it shows is baseball goes on elsewhere. And I mean, we're sitting here awaiting a 3:40 pitch between the White Sox and the Indians. They were postponed yesterday. The old-fashioned postponed, Billy, due to weather. Remember those?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the games go on as long as everybody is is testing negative and everything, and that's what we're seeing across Major League Baseball. Buster Olney tweeted yesterday that, look, in this crazy shortened season, baseball shouldn't even worry about everybody playing the same amount of games. Just go with winning percentage. Just go with whatever. Don't wait for the Marlins and other teams to catch up. Just play when you can play, and we'll see how it is at the end of this thing. But I don't know, man. Just so many questions with this thing. I guess the good news is we still have baseball, Billy, that we can watch, including your Mets, my Braves, and everybody in between.
And I think that's a good point by Buster Olney, is just go ahead and go with win percentage, because you've already gotten the season underway, and unless you have another major outbreak, I guess it shows how much really kind of social distancing the teams do with one another. Obviously, inside the Miami Marlins organization, it has spread. That's what happens when you're on buses together and you're in locker rooms together and you're in confined spaces. But when you're out in an open field like that, I mean, there's really no physical contact. The only time that you can think of that opposing teammates even get close together is at home plate between the batter and the catcher, and at first and on the base pass when they get a little close there. But other than that, it's not like football, and definitely not like basketball either. There's a lot of physical contact in basketball, and I'm just surprised there hasn't been anything going on in the NBA. But that just goes to show you how well the bubbles are working.
Talking to Billy Weaver on the Fixed NC Live line. Real quick, we can talk about what's happening on the field. And you hear the old phrase a lot, well, that's baseball. How about the Mets give up 14 on Sunday night? They scored 7 last night in a win. Charlie's Red Sox can't get anybody out. The Braves give up 14 last night after scoring 14 Sunday night. So that's the old phrase, right, Billy? That's baseball.
Oh, yeah, and it seems like guys are hitting the ball out of the park. I mean, it's been a lot of home runs already. And, yeah, I was having this conversation last night with a buddy of mine, Tom Gabriel. He's the director at WITN. He's been a lifetime Braves fan. So, of course, every baseball season, he and I kind of go back and forth. And I said to him last night, how about those Braves? And he said, well, yeah, it just goes to show you, the Braves beat the Mets and put double digits on the scoreboard against them, and they turn around and have it happen to them as well. And he said exactly that same thing that you said. That's basically what you're going to get from a day-to-day basis, and that's what baseball fans really love about that game is you can see a 14-7 basically whitewashing and be entertained, and still be just as entertained with a 1-0 shutout victory where you have a great pitching performance. So it just goes to show you, how Major League Baseball is as far as entertainment goes. I just hope, that we can continue to watch it, although I kind of like the 60-game season. It might be a little too short, like for a normal year, but I've always thought 162 games was just way too much.
Yeah.
If we could find something right in the middle, I think that'd be great.
It is kind of fun that every game kind of matters now, where 162, Billy, you could kind of go a whole week without following your team and still be caught up, but like football and somewhat like, I guess, college basketball, although it all comes down to the end of the season, but really football, pro and college, every game matters, and that's what kind of adds to the excitement. We're getting that with baseball. We are live, so we're going to get updates throughout the show. And Shirley, here's one for you. As the programming director here at Pirate Radio, you might want to know this. Jeff Passan just tweeted out that the Marlins have been shut down through at least Sunday. The Phillies series versus the Orioles has been postponed. Instead, the Yankees will play the Baltimore Orioles tomorrow and Thursday.
Tomorrow and Thursday, do you have a game time?
I do not, and I guess that will be in Baltimore since that's where the O's were supposed to be to play Miami, but that's all we got right now. So
I would guess it would probably be around the same time. So if that's the case, then we'll go live with Orioles baseball about 7:30 tomorrow night.
Okay. I'm assuming it will be a night game, and that'll be Wednesday and Thursday. So schedule changes on the fly, Billy Weaver. So we sit here on a Tuesday. We've some news came out regarding high school sports and how big of a deal is this? I'll ask you. I'll ask Nate Connor when we talk to him on Wednesday inside the Pirate Radio Zoom room, head football coach D.H. Conley. But the NCHSAA will move into Phase 2 of reopening, of their reopening plan on August the 3rd. So that'll be next week, next Monday, I guess. In the article, Billy, it says, what's different from Phase 1? And it had 2 bullet points. One of those, use of sports-specific equipment, such as balls, may be used. All athletic equipment, including balls, must be cleaned frequently and prior to use by another player, I guess. Previously, no shared equipment was permitted. Also, if necessary, to bring a student in an athletic training room, a licensed athletic trainer must be present and appropriate disinfecting must occur afterwards. Athletes were previously not allowed in training rooms unless it was an emergency. So that was the list of what's different. There was a list of what's the same as Phase 1, and I swear it was like 30 bullet points. So really, I guess, I don't know if you've had time to look over this, Billy, but it sounds like the only real difference is the guys are going to be able to have a football out there when they're working out. So I guess that's it, Weave, with this news.
Well, yeah, and as long as their balls are clean.
You've got to frequently clean the balls, yes.
Yes. But I did have a chance to look at it, and you're right. It's not much different from Phase 2, and I would see if we get there, which I hope we do, will be with the use of pads, shoulder pads, equipment, things like that, helmets. But that seems like it's going to be a long way off right now. But that is good because, we made a trip over to J.H. Rose, I think it was last week or the week before, and they were doing outside workouts. And it was mostly just weight training. They're outside. They're physically and socially distancing themselves from one another and doing a lot of disinfecting and things like that. But, that was good for the fact that a lot of these young men, they don't have another way to lift weights. You can't have them if you have them outside and you're doing the lifting outside, I think if I'm not mistaken, by rule, you can be up to 25 people outside. If you're inside a weight room, it's only 10. But it's good for these young men because, as you know, gyms are closed right now.
Yeah.
At least to my knowledge. And that's a big part of football. It's been a big part of football for a long time now is off-season weight training. So for those guys to get together and do that, they've been able to do that for the last couple of weeks now. But now to introduce a football into it, and it may sound like a very small thing, but running plays and trying to run routes and things like that without having an actual football sometimes is a little hard.
Probably doesn't get your players as engaged either, Billy, I would think. You know what I mean? Like practicing without a ball. You get a ball there, I think you're...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, it kind of reminds me, do you remember seeing, was it the movie Hoosiers? Where
right, yeah.
Without a ball?
Yeah.
For a while? Yeah, so it kind of reminds you of that. But, it's really critical to have a ball when you're talking about quarterbacks and receivers for obvious reasons that you have to throw the football, but for other reasons that are even, I think, more important is timing. You got to have, that is such a big thing between quarterbacks and receivers, and without having the ability to throw footballs out there, you can't work on timing. So hopefully we're moving in the right direction, in that area. And I just hope, and I'm really keeping my fingers crossed. I'm not very optimistic, but I am hoping that we'll have a high school football season. I just don't. One thing I can tell you is I can pretty much with certainty say that it won't start, when we're used to seeing high school football, which is usually third week in August. That's definitely not going to happen.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. So, Billy, when we started to get official plans for the return of Major League Baseball and the NBA bubble down in Orlando, we saw a few days after that players drop. And I was concerned at first because it would be one player, then it would be three, then it would be seven. And it was like, man, where's this going to end? And it turns out, everybody's fine. Everybody's got a team. Everybody can field a team in baseball and basketball. Well, now that's happening in football. As we get training camps set to open up, you're starting to see some names and some pretty big ones, most notably Dante Hightower and Patrick Chung from the New England Patriots have dropped. I saw a guy on Twitter joke today that, man, these guys really don't want to play with Cam Newton. That I think was a tongue-in-cheek there. Also, Marquise Goodwin from the Eagles. So, Billy, we're starting to see some names here. I'm thinking it's going to be like those other sports where you see a name or two or five, and then everybody just kind of gets on board and plays. But how do you feel when you see these names drop out from the 2020 season?
Yeah, kind of the same way. It's some people that are. I think the guys that you're going to see that do drop out, if you kind of research it and you look at it, some of them have pretty good reason, very legitimate reasons. You never know. I mean, and I can understand this, if you're not going to put NFL players in the bubble, which right now that's not the case.
Yeah.
And, that's what I talked about. I think the bubble definitely works. There's positives and negatives to having them in a bubble. Because obviously when you're in a bubble, you're kind of cut off from family and friends and things like that, and you're just with your team. You're in a hotel. You're not able to do things like that. That's the negative. The positive is that you cut down on the COVID-19 positive test. It's been proven. It's been shown to happen. But some of these players, and I think some of it out as well, these are situations where they, for whatever reason, don't want to be away from family. Say if you have a child that has special needs and you want to be around that child, I can understand that 100%.
Well, I believe Dante Hightower specifically, I was reading that he just had a child, and you remember back, and I do, and every father and parent does that. That is like your biggest life-changing moment, right? And that becomes your complete focus. So for that example, sure. I mean, he's got money. He's got a new family. I totally get it.
Yeah, and that too. The other thing I was going to say too is that some of these young men, they're taking care of elderly grandparents and even parents and things like that live with them, because now being an NFL athlete, or in the case of the NBA, being a high-paid NBA athlete, they have the means to be able to take care of grandma and grandpa. And a lot of times these parents and grandparents live with these folks, and so I can understand. They don't want to risk it. If they're not going to be in a bubble, then they're going to be at the facilities, they're going to be in physical contact with other people, and then they're going to come home. And even if they don't show symptoms and they're asymptomatic, there's still that chance they could give it to an elderly grandparent or a child or something. So I totally get it, but I'm like you. I don't think it's going to be a widespread thing where it's going to be, 50 to 100 athletes in the NFL that have said, okay, I'm opting out. I just don't think that's going to be the case.
And there's going to be a lot of young, hungry guys that have not gotten that big first contract extension that are going to be ready to go, definitely.
Hey, and because without a preseason, that's when those guys have to prove themselves.
Yep.
And now with no preseason, these young guys that are undrafted free agents are going to be hungrier than ever, because they're going to look for that one shot to get their foot in the door. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes.
We'll let you go. I've been a bad NASCAR fan the last week or so. I didn't watch on Thursday night. I was watching baseball. And then on Sunday, I missed it. It was a rare Sunday off for the NASCAR guys, but they'll be back at it coming up this Sunday in New Hampshire. You like to pick Kyle Busch. You like to pick Jimmy Johnson. Neither one of those guys can win this year. Could Sunday be the day one of those guys finally wins in 2020?
Well, I mean, it could be. And you know what? Kyle has not been running bad. I mean, and right now, if you look at the power standings, NASCAR.com does a weekly thing where they have power standings. And it's kind of like publications that do the NFL and Major League Baseball and all those. It's kind of the hot, who's hot and who's not that week. Kyle Busch has always been up there, and, he's running well. But, I mean, how do you go against Denny Hamlin right now? 5 victories on the season. He leads the series. This is a guy that a couple years ago people thought that he may end up hanging it up and retiring. And now his team is as hot as any team has been in NASCAR in quite some time. I mean, I think he's probably going to be one of the favorites to win this weekend at New Hampshire. Kevin Harvick's been running extremely well all year. You can't bet against him. And Brad Keselowski is one of those guys. Brad is one of those kind of Jimmy Johnson guys. He just kind of goes about his business. He's not flashy. He's just kind of there. He doesn't. He doesn't make a whole lot of noise, but he wins, and he's always running up front. That's Brad Keselowski, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in victory lane this weekend.
We've always enjoyed the weekly chat with you, man. Come down to the studio, check it out when you get a chance, but always good to talk with you on the Fixed NC Live line as well.
I definitely am, and I'll bring my mask. I know y'all want to social distance and everything, so we're trying to keep it as, that's the thing is I just hope that we can get past this sometime, maybe, I just don't hope, I hope we don't have a second round of shutdown here, and hopefully we're getting out of the woods with this.
Yeah.
We'll just have to wait and see and just kind of have to do what we got to do.
Yes, sir. Everybody do their part. Thank you, Weave. Enjoyed it, man.
All right, man.
All right, we'll take a time out, come back, and talk more sports from a gambling perspective with the BMOC. Jeff Nadu will join us on the Fixed NC Live line when we return on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Back with you after this.
A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just want to tell you how I'm feeling.
To COVID-19, ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, we hope you're having a great summer so far and enjoying time with your friends and family. School will start on August 17th following strict state guidelines, so we want to keep you, our students, our parents, and our community informed throughout the summer with our information campaign called The Road to Reopening. You'll find all the information you need to prepare for the next school year by going to our website at pittschools.org or by keeping up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Remember, we'll face the upcoming school year together because we are Pitt County Schools Strong.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do you do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Antwon Market Cafe. Antwon is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Antwon. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Antwon is always the right call. Call ahead and get Antwon to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Antwon Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and AntwonMarket.com. Antwon, pirates supporting pirates.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
It's almost quitting time, but your family's hunger is gearing up for the night shift. Now you could unload groceries, chop, dice, mince, preheat, heat, slap around the smoke detector, and then celebrate with a big old pile of dishes. Or you could drop a big bow box on it. Because whether you need an 8, 12, or 20 piece with biscuits, fixins, and tea, you can clock out and spend some quality time with a delicious dinner. Now when it comes to sneaking a biscuit on the drive home, that's all you. Bojangles, it's bow time.
The Uptown Greenville Umbrella Market is back. Join us every Wednesday starting at 5 p.m. at the 5 Points Plaza. The Umbrella Market features vendors including produce, meat, baked goods, and handcrafted essentials. Groceries, and then grab some dinner from one of the various Uptown restaurants. Enjoy the open-air night market each Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. Join us as the Uptown Greenville Umbrella Market is back.
This is Mike Houston, head football coach at East Carolina University, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey, yo, left eye. No, because the eye is right. Check out this fat.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Hey, Pirate fans, if you are hungry for the best ECU news and information, then you need to be part of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Keep up with the latest breaking news and information by liking us on Facebook and following us on Twitter and Instagram at PR927FM. Listen live and to all of our archived programming anytime by visiting PR927FM.com. Stay connected beyond your radio dial with all of the Pirate Radio digital platforms. Again, to Pirate Radio Live, here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, Shirley Cam looking good on a Tuesday. Glenn Griffin here as well. Talked about the latest with Major League Baseball and the Miami Marlins and how that affects other teams. It appears we're going to have some O's baseball for you on Pirate Radio coming up on Wednesday against the New York Yankees, if that is indeed a night game. Looks like they are going to play Wednesday and Thursday. Rohan on Facebook Live said, I hope the Marlins don't cancel the season. My Braves need those wins. And, boy, after last night, we could use a game or two against the Marlins. Braves hammered by the Tampa Bay Rays last night in Tampa. They'll play again tonight starting around 6:40, I believe. Let's go out to the Fixed NC Live line. We'll talk some baseball, soccer, little hoops as well with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, who joins us today on the program. Big man, how you doing?
Doing well, Clip. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good coming off a big man win last night. And if you listen to this show, you know our love for LAFC and the way they can put up goals in the MLS's back tournament. And, Jeff, no different last night. They got it done. You got your both teams to score bet as well. You even hit an individual player, so you racked up late night last night in the MLS.
I did rack up, yeah. It was, listen, free money right now on LAFC games. I mean, the goals are just fast and furious. They've scored, I want to say 13 or 14 goals in 5 games. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I was happy to see the Sounders get a goal and hit the over 2.5 as well. So, yeah, it's fun right now with the MLS. Now that teams are starting to, you know, obviously it's one game playoff basically for every team. The games are better. You know, you're starting to see kind of the best shine through, and yeah, there's money to be made in those games as the tournament continues.
And Jeff, maybe my feelings will change once we get into Saturday, Sunday, and then next week when you've got MLB, NHL, or NHL, NBA all on and going on all day. But I tweeted it last night, and I mean it. I'm going to miss this MLS's back tournament. It got us through some rough sports nights where not much was going on. I know you're heavily involved in international soccer, and most of that, all of that really is during the day. So it's been at least nice background noise to have on a live sporting event, and I've really enjoyed it. I know the the play hasn't been easy on the eyes, and you've talked about that too. Just the talent deficiencies between what we see in MLS and what we see in Serie A, for example. But I will say I've enjoyed it, and I'm going to miss these doubleheaders. I think tonight's the last doubleheader, right? Then it goes into the next round of the knockout stage.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the greatest league in the world, but again, I've watched a lot of soccer throughout the, Europe. I mean, I'm Albanian. I've watched a lot of Albanian soccer, and it's, not the greatest product, but as you kind of get more and more into it, as the teams kind of get better as the season goes on, becomes a league you have to watch. And with there being, not a lot of other things on outside of a few baseball games at, 11 o'clock at night, it's a good thing to have. But keep in mind, Clip, there is going to be a regular season after the tournament's over. So, I mean, there's some reports that the MLS is actually going to resume their regular season August 22nd. Now, again, that could change, but I don't think a lot of people realize that they are going to continue the regular season after this tournament.
Well, that's a good point. So the stage games they played count towards their regular season. This knockout round they're doing right now is going to crown an MLS's back tournament champion, but those games will not go on the official 2020 record. So it's a little confusing if you're not following along at home, but that is a good point, and I'm one of those people that forgot about that, big man. I hadn't seen much about the resumption of the season, so something to keep an eye on, I guess, later in August. And, we're far away from it now, but is the plan to go city to city like Major League Baseball is doing now and get out of the Orlando bubble?
As far as I know, again, I think it's definitely a concern just because, we have to remember 2 teams are not playing in this tournament because of, being kind of removed for coronavirus. But, yeah, the plan was to resume the regular seasons with home teams playing in their home stadium. So, again, I think obviously by the end of August, who knows where we'll be with coronavirus. Seems like every month something different happens or something, it gets bad or worse. So we'll see. But, yeah, that's the plan.
Jeff, I saw on Twitter that you do have a bet out for Serie A this afternoon in a game that maybe is just starting now or about to start coming up, right?
Yeah, it starts at 3:45 Eastern. And
Okay.
I'm not used to doing this show live just because, with your new format. But yeah, no, I think right now we have to realize, as Clip said earlier, that the European leagues are winding down as far as their season. They'll restart in September. But you have teams that are just kind of playing out the rest of the string. I think these are 2 teams that defense won't be the prime focus. Napoli's kind of focused on the Champions League, which starts in a week, and Milan's just a better side. So I think we'll see goals here. They're aiming high here. I don't think there'll be a ton of defense. 10 of the last 11 Inter games have gone over 2.5 goals. So I think this is 2-1, maybe a 2-2 match. I think we see goals here.
You just brought up another point too, Jeff, that I haven't really thought about. So the NBA and NHL is resuming and wrapping up their 2019-2020 season. What does that mean for 2020-2021 and those seasons? And so soccer is going, finishing up in late July, and then we've got Champions League, and then we've got the start of a brand new season in September. Is that what you said? Is that right?
Correct.
Man.
The Premier League gets started, I believe, September 12th,
Wow.
I believe. And then La Liga, they get started September 12th as well. Serie A, I would imagine, is going to be around the same time. All the leagues are kind of taking a month or so off. They got a month and 10 days off, and then they'll be back at it. But we have to remember they had 3 months off basically in the middle of this. So you have League One, which is in France, Clip. They're getting started August 22nd for their new season. So it's at this point business as usual in Europe, and obviously we know how good they've done with this virus. It's pretty much back to normal, and that's where, Clip, it's fascinating as a fan of European soccer to see why you look at baseball and some of the struggles they've had. Keep in mind that European leagues have been playing for months with normal seasons, and they haven't had any cases.
Yeah, we're following this baseball deal going on with the Marlins and the outbreak that they're having, and that's affecting other teams, including the Orioles, which we carry here on Pirate Radio, your Yankees, also the team you're closest to home-wise up there in Philly as well, as the Yankees and Phillies have been postponed again. From a baseball standpoint, Jeff, how much do you need to see before you go all in? Are you making plays nightly, or do you need to see a little more?
I'm definitely picking and choosing. I mean, I'm when I see value, I'm grabbing it. Like tonight, I see a few games that I have my eye on. But as you know, with me, I'm normally a smaller volume guy anyway. So yeah, I think there's still obviously these teams are playing. It's not like they're not playing hard or anything like that. So yeah, I'm kind of just taking it game by game. Last night I took Tampa Bay. It was an easy winner for me. So yeah, I'm kind of picking and choosing. I kind of bet against Seattle this weekend with how poor they are. So yeah, I'm betting it. I'm not going crazy, but I don't normally ever go crazy.
Jeff, we need to take another break. Can you hang with us through a break, and we'll talk a little NBA?
Sure.
And everything else. Okay, great. We'll take a time out, Shirley. We'll come back and have more with the big man on campus, Jeff Nadu. See if he's got any specific baseball plays for us tonight, but also talk about what else is coming up in the world of sports. More to go in hour number 1 of Pirate Radio Live. We're back with you after this.
Fat remix, kinda like Slim Fast. Baby. You know what I'm saying? T-Vibes, won't you double list? Do you want my love? That's alright.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Troy D. Proud to be co-founder, one of the owners and operators of Pirate Radio. As we launch into our 18th year in business, we have a lot of exciting news to share. Our afternoon drive show, PRL, Pirate Radio Live, has a new look and is now streaming live every day from our brand new digital studio from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can find us on our Pirate Radio YouTube page and our Facebook page, plus our website, pr927fm.com. If you're in your car, put us on 92.7 FM in Greenville or 104.1 FM in Washington. The new and improved 3-hour PRL is hosted by Clip Rock and Shirley Rhodes and will feature the latest breaking news, awesome guests, and your favorite Pirate Radio personalities like The Voice Jeff Charles, Brian Bailey, Stephen Igoe, Billy Weaver, Brian North, Tony Collins, Bryce Williams, Marcus Crandall, Ronnie Woodward, Morgan Ehlers, Mike Mullis, plus LRB and myself. Give us a follow on social media at PR927FM and get the latest programming updates, guest alerts, and breaking news. Thank you for your loyalty and your support, and we hope you enjoy the new and improved Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal: to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get the all-new 2020 Cadillac Escalade and save over $15,000. Brown & Wood is your home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Tired of cooking at home? Change it up without getting up. Just order Jersey Mike's through our app for no-contact delivery or no-contact at-the-door pickup. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
It's Jersey Mike's time. 1 Club Supreme? Check. What's Aaron's Way? Only $2.99 for Pepsi and Lay's, and they'll donate $1 million to the Aaron Judge All Rise Foundation? I'm in. Order your sub Aaron's Way on the Jersey Mike's app or visit a Jersey Mike's store.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash on 10th Street is now open. The 10th Street location is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes will be good at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and now on East 10th Street. And coming soon, Haviland Express Lube and Pirates Cove Car Wash in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
CD's Grill in Winterville wants to thank you for all of your support during these crazy times. CD's Grill has the area's best country cooking, and you can come and enjoy a down-home breakfast or one of our daily country lunch specials at CD's Grill.
Hi, this is Lawrence Manning from my entire CD's Grill family. Thank you for all your support. And we invite you and your family and friends to try CD's Grill and taste for yourself the best country cooking around. Promise, CD's Grill.
CD's Grill, 111 West Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Our youth baseball camp is right around the corner, August 3rd through August 7th. We will now host this camp at J.H. Rose High School baseball facility. Campers will get baseball instruction from ECU coaching staff as well as members of the 2019-2020 ECU baseball team. Campers will learn fundamentals as well as play games. Camp will now run from 9 a.m. to noon and will follow all state and local health guidelines. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. We hope to see you there. Go Pirates!
When you can take your eye off a big pizza pie that's
Familia.
How does a hot pizza and a six-pack of beer sound right about now? How about if it was only $20? Take advantage of the Familia Saturday and Sunday special of a large one-topping pizza and a six-pack of Pitt Street beer for only $20. Call 689-6330 and then pick it up at the drive-thru window. Need a job? Good news. Familia is now hiring servers, bartenders, and hostesses. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College and FamiliaNC.com.
Artemi, yo ho, yo ho, it's Pirate Radio. Pirate Radio.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Hey, welcome back. And Pirate Radio Live this afternoon is brought to you by Bud Light, who reminds Pirate fans to always stay in the game and drink responsibly. Bud Light, proudly distributed by Carolina Eagle Distributing since 1989. Now, let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Thank you very much, Shirley Rhodes. Shirley, Glenn Griffin producing today's program. Still a lot to get to. Looking forward to our guest coming up at 4 o'clock, the new assistant basketball coach at ECU, Antwon Jackson. He's been at Virginia Tech, been at Cincinnati, and has been able to see his new players here the last week or so when ECU resumed athletics activities last Wednesday. So we'll get to know Antwon Jackson a little bit, talk some Pirate Hoops coming up today at 4 o'clock. We got Stephen Igoe in the 4 o'clock hour as well, and Bryant Packard, former Pirate, now a member of the Tigers organization, going to join us at 5 o'clock inside the Pirate Radio studios. But right now, we'll go back out to the Fixed NC Live line. The big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. Got soccer going on as we speak. Got some baseball going on as we speak. And even though the Marlins are dealing with their mess, Jeff, we got games on, including game one of a doubleheader between the White Sox and the Indians. So I think it's promising that with all the news coming out of the Miami team that you've still got, look, business as usual. Kind of the show must go on for these other teams out there.
Yeah, I mean, I think outside of the Marlins, I mean, most teams actually all the teams have been fine. I think there was a little bit of just lackluster kind of following of the rules by the Marlins.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty evident in Philadelphia this weekend. And, yeah, let's hope it's just an isolated thing and we can kind of move on. But, yeah, I mean, baseball just continues. Yeah, I think it was just a lot of young players not following the rules. But, yeah, they're going to have to kind of trudge through it and get back out there.
That's what it sounds like. Jeff, so you got a pretty good slate of games coming up tonight. Anything in particular you've got your eye on? I guess Dodgers-Astros, maybe the headliner here. Yeah. But what do you got your eye on tonight? Yeah,
look, I think anytime the Astros are a favorite at home, I'm pretty interested. But one game that I bet, I like the Cardinals tonight plus 140. I think it's a little too high. I mean, anytime I can bet against Homer Bailey at that price, I'm in. I know Martinez is coming back. He was a closer last year, but I thought he was quite good, really as a starter as well. We look at him in 2018. He was an all-star, if I can remember correctly, and his FIP and XFIP were very good last year. He wasn't great on the road, but I think he'll be fine in this matchup. This is more a play for me, and I will say, if you don't want to take the Cardinals, I think the Cardinals team total is really a nice play here. They're going to play up. They're taking on Homer Bailey here, who, look, wasn't very good last year. He was poor against right-handers all season. Righty's actually at 300 off Homer Bailey last year, and this lineup is actually very good against him in his career. So I'll gladly kind of bet against Homer Bailey in this spot. I think the number's a bit too high. If you're kind of worried about Martinez, which I can understand, he's coming off the closer role last year, but I think team total overs worth a look at 4.5 as well with St. Louis. I think they can score some runs here and get 5 or 6.
Big man on campus, Jeff Nadu, joining us. Got baseball tonight, tomorrow, and then the NBA going to join the fray as the Lakers take on the Clippers. Also, Jazz Pelicans coming up on Thursday. And I guess, Jeff, what was the headline about Anthony Davis today? He's got an eye issue, and have you looked into that, and how has that affected the line, if anything, and the Lakers' chances moving forward out of this bubble?
Well, look, I mean, this is something that, I think if Anthony Davis has been on your team, you've dealt with a lot. I mean, he's an injury-prone guy. He's a guy that, constantly has these nagging injuries. This one's, I think, kind of a quick fix, and he'll be fine. But, we have to remember that they're already playing without Avery Bradley. No Rajon Rondo, he's injured. So, there's some concerns elsewhere on this roster. They had to go out and obviously bring in Deion Waiters and J.R. Smith. I'm not going to be betting the first game with these two teams just because I just don't think it's that important for either team. The Lakers are pretty much the 1 seed. Now, the other game is a little bit more important, and it brings to my point, why does Zion Williamson get preferential treatment? Zion Williamson left the bubble for weeks on end, comes back, gets a 4-day quarantine, while people like Rashawn Holmes, who have never left the bubble other than for 30 seconds to pick up food, they get 10 days quarantine. How does that make any sense? Oh, I know how it makes sense, because Zion Williamson's the golden boy, and everyone wants to see him on TV, so we'll bend the rules for Zion Williamson.
Well, you could even say, why is Zion and the Pelicans even there, if you want to go further than that, right, Jeff? I mean, is it a conspiracy theory or the truth that they want to get Zion on TV and potentially in the playoffs as much as they can here?
Look, I'm not a big conspiracy theory guy, but look, I think it would have made total sense if the NBA said, look, this is a different season. We're just going to take the top 8 teams.
Yeah.
And if you're on the outside looking in, you're on the outside looking in. Obviously, the Pelicans played well right before the season stopped, and there is a Zion effect. But, yeah, no one from the NBA has explained why Zion Williamson has special treatment over everyone else.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that he's been tested every day, because Rashawn Holmes is tested every day too. Lou Williams is tested every day too. They all had a different outcome than he did.
Jeff, Glenn and I have adopted the Nuggets as the official bubble team of Pirate Radio. Mostly, well, for me anyway, it's because of the freak show, the lineup. I mean, you got like 5 guys in the game at the same time, and nobody's under 6'9", and Bowles out there, and Jokic handling the ball. It's just it's different. I guess that's why I'm into it. What kind of chance do you give a team like that in the West? I mean, I'm assuming you've got the Lakers in the finals, or maybe I'm wrong. But how far can a team like the Nuggets go on the West?
Well, my team that I really liked was the Clippers, but some of the concerns that they have, I'm worried. But look, the Nuggets are interesting. Jamal Murray, I'm a big fan of. What a shooter he is. Jokic is trimmed down a little bit, Clip. I think for a while he was eating way too much, Jibanica and some of that Serbian food over there, and he was bulked up a little bit.
Are you guys on the same diet, big man? You and Jokic working out together?
I'm not sure what diet he's on, but Serbia is very close to my home country, and we eat a lot of the same food. So I think we may have been on the same diet for a while, but we might be on the same one now. But yeah, he looks good. He looks svelte. He's a great passer, as we know. And you're right. The depth chart that they have, there's a lot of guys that come in and fill it up. Bol, obviously you mentioned, has had an interesting kind of restart here. Guys like Torrey Craig and Jeremy Grant. The team that I have my eye on in this Western Conference is the Thunder. I'm a big fan of this group. I think they're really deep as far as that's concerned. I love Chris Paul a lot. The fact that they don't have Dennis Schroeder, I think, kind of hurts, but I'm a big Steven Adams guy. He's played really well. Danilo Gallinari, just a pro that I really like since he came into the league. Luguentz Dort, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think they play hard. Defensively, they're really good. Don't be surprised maybe win a series and possibly make a run.
Got to be honest with you, the Thunder were off my radar. I really got to look into them a little bit. Glenn, outside of the Nuggets, what are you intrigued to see coming up starting Thursday with the NBA returning? Let's get that mic on.
I wanted to touch on that Thunder bit, because I think they are interesting if there's some hope they can get Schroeder back, because their 3-guard lineup when they went with Schroeder, Paul, and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was devastating in the league. And they would play kind of a small, I guess it's not traditional small ball because Danilo Gallinari is 6'10", but you put him at center, and then you can give teams some different looks, and maybe they match up well with the Nuggets or the ultra small ball Rockets, who are very interesting. We talk about the Nuggets and their lineup where nobody's 6'8". Well, the Rockets have a lineup and nobody's 6'7". There's so many different ways you can put 5 guys on the court now.
So is it? I like you guys kind of pointing out these other teams. Is it a 2-horse race with the LA teams, or do you give any one of these teams we've talked about a shot, Jeff?
I think it's going to be tough.
I guess it kind of depends on what happens with the Clippers roster and even the Lakers roster coming together too, right? I mean, you got to factor those things in.
I think the good thing about the Clippers is their season technically doesn't really start for another couple of weeks. I mean, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's really kind of like the Warriors, where or when LeBron was at the Cleveland. I mean, it would just, or wherever he would just kind of play lackadaisical until the playoffs started. At the end of the day, I think they are going to be fine, the Clippers, just because it seems like everyone's back now. They'll do their quarantine, and then everyone will get back out there. But practice is happening, and they're not really able to participate. I don't know. I mean, I think they all have some positives, but it's going to be hard for them to kind of upend. But we have to remember, you look at the Nuggets, whether it's them or the Thunder. I mean, Clip, if you're the Thunder right now, you're basically 4 games out of the 2 spot. I mean, that's really all you're separated by. Now it's a lot of games and only 8, but they're still not that far off. As far as that, though, I don't know that I see it. I don't know if Glenn would agree, but I think the East is a little more interesting as far as do I think there are probably 4 or 5 teams that can knock off. I think there's a little bit more parity in the East as opposed to the West. It's probably going to come down to the Clippers and to the Lakers.
Well, real quick, or you can go ahead if you want to touch on that, Glenn.
Big-Man mentioned the East. A team I like could end up being the 5 seed, the Heat. I just think they have a ton of shooting around Butler, and then you've got a guy in Bam Adebayo out of our backyard from Washington, D.C. that is killer defensively and really – he's an interesting matchup for a bigger guy like Joel Embiid, who's got to stick with a smaller athletic guy in a potential 4 or 5 matchup there with the Sixers and the Heat.
Yeah, that's actually the team I was going to mention as well. I actually bet them at the beginning of the season to win the title. I couldn't agree with you more. I love Adebayo. You all of a sudden add Andre Iguodala into the fray. You have Jay Crowder there, who's a known good defender with Iguodala. You have the shooting with Duncan and Tyler Hero and Nunn. I mean, Nunn is an undrafted player out of Oakland. I mean, he's a terrific player. They're just scoring all around this roster. And as Glenn said, I mean, you have 3 really good bigs that can defend, whether you include Iguodala in that big range. But they're long, they're lengthy, they're deep. They got guys like Myers Leonard come off the bench, and I mentioned Olynyk and Crowder. So, yeah, I agree with them. I think they're going to beat the Indiana Pacers. And don't be surprised if they can beat anyone in the East. They hurt the Sixers a couple different times. They went in and beat Philadelphia in Philadelphia, one of the 2 losses the Sixers had this season. I was actually at that game. I remember it. The Heat are really good, and they have a closer in Jimmy Butler. They're what the Sixers, to me, were last year. And I think the Heat are going to go a little bit further than the Sixers.
Big man, we'll let you run. One more thing, and it's obvious to people who do gamble, but what's the motivation for these teams as well? You kind of said the Clippers won't, their season doesn't resume for a few weeks because they're fine. A team like the Bucks, so kind of keep in mind when these games are going on, who really needs to win right now, and who's just kind of, I don't know, going through the motions or kind of conditioning for the playoff run, because it kind of reminds me of like the end of the college football season when a team is trying to get to a bowl game, get that 6th win, or playing for a conference title. You gotta look at motivation with some of these matchups when they begin on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of for me a better dream as far as I'm really going to look at what the public's doing here, which is, I think, in the NBA the only real way you can handicap, especially without the playoffs. I think you have to look at these situations and say, okay, I'm seeing a team move 2 or 3 points, the line's going another way. It's just, there's all sorts of things to look at. But yeah, if you're kind of a beginner bettor, I would obviously look to just involve myself with the games that mean something. So involving like Portland or Memphis or the Pelicans. I would kind of stay away from, Clippers, Lakers, games like that. I don't know how much. We'll probably see the benches emptied. Players won't be participating.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would kind of avoid that. But yeah, I'll be involved with just kind of playing against the public and finding, like, I'll be playing against the Pelicans game 1. 1,000% I will be playing against the Pelicans game 1.
Jeff, good stuff, man. We will talk to you later on this week, and also, folks, give him a follow on Twitter at Jeff Nadu. He'll drop you a freebie every now and then, like he did last night with LAFC and both teams to score, and also had an individual score with pretty good plus money there. So follow him there, and you can hear him on the Pirate Radio Live a couple times a week. We'll talk to you probably Friday, big man.
Look forward to it, Clip. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. There's Jeff Nadu joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. And Griff, people are saying, is a big baseball guy on Twitter, but he's going to be a big NBA guy 2 days from now, right, Jeff? Glenn?
I have heard that many people are saying
many people.
that I also enjoy the NBA.
Many people are saying that.
Some people are saying.
Wait, not many? Some?
Well, differing levels.
A pretty good amount of people? All right.
Just differing levels of people.
Okay.
And they're saying some things.
All right. People are talking. We'll have a lot of NBA, MLB, NHL to talk about. Boy, this time next week, we should have just games going on nonstop. And we'll have to get Shirley another job. She needs another job around here. She doesn't do enough. We'll have to get Shirley back on the scoreboard, Shirley Rhodes. How's that sound?
For once, I'm actually looking forward to that.
It's been so long since you've had scores. So, we welcome them back for sure. All right, we'll take a timeout, come back, get ready for hour number 2 of Pirate Radio Live, where we'll talk to Antwon Jackson, assistant basketball coach at ECU. That's on the way after this.
Pirate Radio weather.
A few scattered showers and thunderstorms will develop for us with the heating of the day. We are likely to see those highs top in the low to mid 90s and feels like temperatures in a few spots in the upper 90s. As we head into tonight, we'll fall into the mid 70s with temperatures tomorrow in a low to mid 80s. Additional rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms will be possible for us Wednesday afternoon. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in Weather Center.
In studio with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you guys have a disinfecting service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
You've probably heard a lot about CBD. The leading provider of CBD is Your CBD Store Greenville. Their staff is environment to ensure every customer gets the exact treatment they need. Our franchise is the largest CBD retailer in the country, and with trained PhD chemists and direct communications with health leaders across our network of stores, Your CBD Store Greenville has the highest quality all-natural products. Your CBD Store Greenville in Arlington Village next to Duck Donuts, where good health hits home.
In studio with Bram from Tiebreakers. Bram, what's new?
Delivery's new.
What else?
Well, delivery.
What else you want to talk about?
Well, let's talk about tiebreakersnc.com, and let's talk about how good our food is at home in our delivery containers.
What makes delivery special at Tiebreakers?
Well, we use a very, very new technology called crisp containers that keeps your French fries absolutely as crisp as if you bought them at Tiebreakers.
How do they get delivered?
By us, our delivery drivers.
How much does it cost?
Oh, right now it's nothing.
How do people do it?
They call Tiebreakers at 252-439-0555 or tiebreakersnc.com.
Bram, what else is new?
Delivery, bud. I'm telling you, it's the newest thing in the world. Delivery from Tiebreakers.
Bram, what's your favorite word right now?
Jonathan, is delivery, bud. Delivery. I'm telling you, delivery is the word. This is going to be fun.
Wouldn't it be great if you could get auto, home, life, and business insurance all from one agency? Well, that's where the Gavigan Agency comes in. They can help protect what is important to you. So why not simplify your life? See the Gavigan Agency in Greenville or give them a call today at 252-756-1400. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio. Subject to underwriting guidelines, review, and approval.
Thinking about lunch or dinner? Think about CPW's. For almost 25 years, CPW's has been your neighborhood American Italian-style restaurant. At CPW's, you'll discover delicious brew pub-style sandwiches, craft pizzas, homemade pasta sauces, with creative daily lunch and dinner specials always in the queue. Tour the world with CPW's and their chef-themed menus. In late June and July, we are cruising the Caribbean mod with spicy conch chowder, our Cuyaba crab dip, Jamaican pepper shrimp, and Cuban press, and our famous seafood Negril sunset pasta. At the bar, you'll find our latest local and international beers on our 12 taps and the latest Cool Island creations. Yeah, man! Call Alex for an after-work event or birthday party. We can also help make your party or weddings a budget-friendly success with our special events catering menu. Yes, we are back. Our dining room is finally open. See our menus online at cpws.biz. CPW's in the Stanton Square Center, near the hospital, Greenville.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington.
Psychic spies from China try to steal your mind's elation, and little girls from Sweden dream of silver screen quotation. And if you want these kind of dreams, it's Californication.
Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back. Hey, Atlantic Wireless is your local authorized U.S. cellular agent and now offers curbside service and free home delivery. In addition to phone service, Atlantic Wireless has a great selection of tablets and now offers home internet service. Visit AtlanticWireless.com to find a store near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, welcome back to Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday, hour number 2 of today's program. Still to come, Bryant Packard going to join me live in the Pirate Radio studios at 5 o'clock. Stephen Igoe coming up in just a little bit, as well as I think he's kind of bobbing his head to this Red Hot Chili Peppers mashup. Yeah, he's digging it, Shirley. So good job.
He's digging it?
Yeah.
Okay. He usually doesn't like my music, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he doesn't, you know.
We'll have to talk about, is that why he wasn't on the graphic earlier today for the show promotion?
Oh, no, wait a minute now. I have nothing to do with that.
We got to talk about that in detail.
I'm not the graphics person. I'm just a music person.
All right, well, we'll go through what happened and what will happen moving forward.
I just threw Glenn under the bus.
We'll see what Glenn has to say about it. Somebody, we got to talk about it. All right, before we get to Stephen Igoe, let's hear from the new assistant basketball coach at ECU. Earlier today, I was able to chat with Antwon Jackson. He is the new assistant coach for Joe Dooley's ECU basketball team, and I had a great conversation with him, and you will hear that right now, Shirley Rhodes. Let's head out to the Fixed NC Live line now and welcome on for the first time the new assistant basketball coach at East Carolina. He is Antwon Jackson joining us on the Fixed NC Live line today. Antwon, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time, and great to have you guys. We'd love to talk to you in studio and get you in here live, but it's good that you guys are able to work out a little bit. So what exactly has been going on, Coach, since the team has been able to resume athletics activities last Wednesday? What all have you been able to do with the team?
So we've been doing all skill work. We've been doing small groups. So we've been doing, no more than 3 at a time. And we're just working on ball handling and shooting. That's all we're doing, ball handling and shooting. The small groups are better for the players. Now, it's tougher on us coaches because, you're in there longer because we're doing 4 and 5 groups. But it's great for them because they get the most attention. They get a lot of shots up. We can work with them more specifically. So it's better for the players. So that's what it's about.
Coach, you got the nice practice facility over there and a gym that under normal circumstances is open and guys can go in whenever they want. That has not been the case, obviously, the last few months. So for the most part, did guys show up a little rusty, or did everybody come in there all set, ready to go last Wednesday?
Well, obviously, being shut down for a few months, they are not in the best shape, which it's not their fault. So that's to be understandable. But I will say this: I would say each day they've been a little better each day, And to my surprise, I know I go by the numbers. Okay, you look at last year, last year weren't a good shooting team, and this team, from what I've watched, this few days we've been in there for almost a week now. This team is a better shooting team than those numbers show. Better shooting team than these numbers show. So that's good. That's good to see, and we haven't done much yet. So.
Who's kind of leading the charge there, shooting coach? Is it a Tristan Newton, a Tyree Jackson? All of the above. Who's kind of stood out to you from a shooting aspect?
Tristan can shoot it. Tyree is shooting it well. JJ Miles has shot the ball well. I think pretty much all the guys that shoot perimeter shots. Suggs is shooting it. These guys are really doing well so far.
Talking to Antwon Jackson on the Fixed NC Live line. Antwon, Jaden Gardner is the face of the team, the heartbeat of the team. He drives the bus, so to speak. What was your first impressions of Jaden Gardner, being able to work with him a little bit?
Well, I remember from my last year at Cincinnati, we actually lost here, and it was Jaden's freshman year, and he, I still had a bad taste in my mouth from then because he gave it to us. But he's terrific. He works at it. He comes in, when we're not working out. Okay, as we've been able. So since we've been open, they can come in. Shoot more. So he was in here yesterday before the workout. Shot for like 30, 40 minutes. Then worked out. So nice kid too. Very, very nice kid. Very nice kid.
Coach, you mentioned Cincinnati, and even going back to the Bob Huggins days, and of course Mick Cronin, and when you were there, that Cincinnati always has great size across the board. And I don't know if it's exactly to the level of those Bearcats teams, but East Carolina has some size. That has not always been the case, but you've got some stuff you can work with there in the post and on the boards. And I guess, what do you say, Coach? It's a good team getting off the bus, getting off the plane. You got some height and some size to work with there.
Yeah, Coach Dooley, he's asked me, on several occasions, one of the questions was, "Are we bigger than you? Are we bigger than you thought we were? Or what do you think?" And I'm like, "Man, we do have size. I mean, and you're right. Going through the airport, we're getting off the bus. I mean, we look impressive. We look impressive. But we got length on the wings, and we talking about Suggs and JJ. Them guys, they're 6'7", 6'6". I mean, they're long. Fifi as a freshman. I mean, he's Idra. I mean, good Lord. I mean, these guys are really big and long. So we get in great shape. We get in great. That's going to be the thing for us, as it's going to be with everybody. But I'm talking about us. If we can get in great shape and keep progressing in the weight room and all that stuff. It's as much as we can with what we're allowed to do. I like what we have. I really do.
Talking to Antwon Jackson on the Fixed NC Live line. Coach, one more Cincinnati question. And look, I know Joe Dooley is as intense as it gets on game day, but I have seen him off the court. I have seen him crack jokes and smile a little bit. Did Mick Cronin ever smile? Did you ever get Mick Cronin to to crack a joke. That guy's pretty wound tight. It seems. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Nick is funny, man. He is. So I know you see the maniac, the athletes on the sideline, high energy, intense, and he won't shy away from it. He'll tell you, that's who I am. But he's a funny guy, man. He cracks jokes. He might walk by in practice, and you think he's pissed off. And he'll walk by you. He might say something to the kids, say, "Antwon, you like that, don't you?" And I'll chuckle. I turn away, but he's a good dude, man. Good dude.
I was lucky enough, Antwon, to do PA for a few ECU games when Morgan Ehlers, the regular PA announcer, was away, and I did a UConn game, so it was TV Teddy. Teddy Valentine was officiating, and on my right was Dan Hurley screaming, and on my left was Joe Dooley screaming, and it just and you see that every game. Like I had a up close front row seat to it for one game. I'd love to hear you or really any coach write a book of just about the stories and these personalities you see each and every night. It's crazy, right?
Oh man, Teddy's the best, man. He's the best. I'm going back to when, and I don't know if you remember this, but Cincinnati is playing at UConn, and do you remember? And it actually, ESPN made a big deal about it. Do you remember Teddy and Mick had to run in?
I believe so. Yeah, did it lead to an ejection or?
No, nothing. No.
Okay.
No. It's just them, and like they're really good friends. So it's like, and that's why they could go at each other like that. But yeah, we were playing up there it was a Saturday afternoon, and he kind of, got face to face with each other, man. It was, but those things, they happen, man. I mean, they happen. This is part of our sport.
Yeah.
I think that part makes good for, the people that aren't right there. I think it makes good for good entertainment.
Absolutely.
That part of it.
I need to YouTube that and jog my memory on that one. I'll do that after the interview. All right, Antwon.
Hey, speaking of Danny Hurley, remember the UConn Tulsa deal where I want to say Danny and Frank
Haith. Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So look, and we got a league full of characters, Coach, and you've been around, ACC and at Cincinnati, but man, we got some personalities as head coaches here in this conference. It's a lot of fun. And speaking of that, Coach, what kind of attracted you? ECU does not have the tradition, does not have the history, still trying to build this thing up. What attracted you to the opportunity here at East Carolina?
Well, first of all, I've been a long time been a believer in Joe's abilities as a coach. Okay, going back to his days when he was an assistant, he's been part of success. He's been a part of being around high level players, high level basketball, and then we also have some mutual friends in the business, in the basketball business. So I had been around him before. Coach Rock, Steve Rockford. I worked with Derek Kellogg at UMass, and they were really close. So knowing those two, coming in, because I think a big part of our profession, being around people that you know and you're comfortable with. That's a big part of it. But on the outside looking in, I think this place is a sleeping giant. Like I'm really impressed with the facilities here, the community, the commitment from the administration into wanting to win, and that's another big part of it. Those are things that in talking to, Coach Dooley before I came here, like those things, those things really, really intrigued me. And that and him, like, I know what he wants to do here. I know what he wants to do, and I want to be a part of that. I want to help this place, do things that that we haven't done yet, and so those things are exciting.
ECU assistant basketball coach Antwon Jackson joining us on the Fixed NC Live line today on Pirate Radio Live. Coach, East Carolina has been offering a lot of players. They've got a commit or two, including a big fish and Noah Faircon, all since this sports hiatus, since the COVID-19 pandemic. So what has it been like for you recruiting as a coach since March? And also, I know there's baseball going on with the Wood Bat Summer Leagues and Showcase Baseball. Have you been able to go see live basketball in person since mid-March?
No.
Yeah.
No, you can't. No live basketball. Everything now has been all video.
Yeah.
All video. I mean, that's the closest. That's close to live as we're going to get. I don't foresee it changing in the especially in the next coming months. I mean, this is our recruiting right now. So what's been going on the last few weekends or almost a month now, you have like AAU teams streaming their workouts. Some of them have been, here in the past week or two have had doing scrimmages against other people. They're putting it on YouTube. A lot of the regional scouting services, and actually we're fortunate that North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia have really been busy in that regard. So we've been watching on the big screen here off our laptop, watching games just like we would be doing if we were out on the road in July. I mean, that's basically what we've been doing the last few weekends.
Yeah. Coach, I really enjoyed watching the basketball tournament on ESPN. And first of all, it was live basketball, so that was good to see, but also seeing those names and faces we haven't seen in years. It was Travis Diener hit the game winner, and I remember him playing in Minji's back in the early, I guess, Conference USA days with Dwayne Wade and those guys. But coming up Thursday night, Utah and New Orleans, and then followed by Clippers, Lakers. So we get the NBA back. Are you excited to be able to turn on the TV and watch some basketball again?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's going to be very refreshing. I think for all of us to things that have been going on in our country. I mean, and all over the world. So to see normalcy, I think it's something that we need. I mean, as much as the safety of people is obviously, the most important. It's definitely the most important thing. But to be able to see, NBA, to be able to see them, to be able to do it the way they're doing it, as far as like getting everything contained and competition on national TV, I think it's going to be a great thing. One of our former players at Cincinnati, Gary Clark, he's playing with Orlando, and I actually talked to him, last weekend, and we've been communicating, throughout the off period. So he had been working out, and to hear the excitement in his voice, so I know what's going on with everybody else. So I'm excited to see him play. I'm excited to see all these other guys play.
Gary Clark, a great player, a North Carolina native. Enjoyed watching him. Hated that he was wearing that other uniform and not an ECU one, but man, he was tough. Did Did he say anything to you about the bubble, Coach, and how that's going for him and everybody? Is he all right with it?
Yeah, I mean, Gary's fine. I mean, he's a great human. He's a really mature. He was very mature as a young kid coming in out of high school and seeing him grow up. But he's just glad to be back.
Right.
Glad to be back. He didn't say, if you know anything about Gary, he's not going to complain. And I'm sure, them guys talk amongst themselves about things,
right.
They're having things they're not used to. But he just he's just glad to be back and be playing.
Yeah.
He's glad to be back and be playing and competing. And then again, being able to get back to normal. So he's in a different, a different state of this than the rest of us, because we aren't able to get back to what we're doing normal, so to speak. But he's able to.
Yeah.
So, like I said, he's excited, and I'm excited for him. I'm excited for him.
And Coach, I know, and we'll wrap it up here. I know you're happy too to be able to get back on a basketball court and instruct your guys. But are you? Do you keep an eye on what's happening in the sports world, whether it be Major League Baseball, and we'll see what happens with the NBA when it comes to college basketball and the potential to play games this year, or is it? It almost feels like it's a different animal when you start talking about school and a university as opposed to pro sports. But are you kind of keeping an eye on what they're doing and the testing and everything, and as far as what that might mean for basketball this year for college teams like East Carolina?
I keep up with it every single day. Like I see with from the time when the football teams are able to come back and they put out information, or they tested X amount of student athletes and how many tests came up positive, or everybody came up negative. So I keep up with all that stuff as much as I can. I think for us, I mean, it's going to have to. Obviously the thing that's going on with Major League Baseball, is a hiccup, but it's different than the NBA, because the NBA was able to put everybody in a bubble and contain everything. So, baseball is not, NFL is not going to be able to do that. They're going to be, all over the place, and it's more people, so it's going to be harder. I think for college basketball, what happens with college football, I think is gonna dictate, a lot, for us. Hopefully we can, if we can have. I mean, you're probably hearing some of the same stuff I'm hearing as far as like us playing, a season of all league games. Okay. Who knows?
Yeah.
But whatever we're able to have, we just got to make it work the best we can.
And I'm like you, Coach. I follow it day to day, but man, it can change on the hour. And you're right. There's no reason to even predict what's going to be going on in November. So it's just your day to day, right? Every day. You got to control what you can control, I guess.
You get optimistic, for it's like you said, you get optimistic for a second, for a few days, and then one thing happens, you're like, oh, geez, man, like really, and then you get discouraged. So I'm just, every day that we can come in the gym, okay, since last with our guys, this excites me. Every day that we can come in there, and that's all we can control. I promise you, we're doing everything that we're supposed to be doing as far as the safety stuff. With the coaches, we're wearing our masks, we're staying distant. When players come in, so you have your own ball, okay? Mm-hmm. We've been doing the small groups. You have your own ball, and the only person that can touch that ball is whoever's passing to them and the player. So we've been on top of it, disinfecting the balls. You got your own towel. You got your own water bottle. So, like, you know, it's just so many, so many different pieces to this protocol that we have to adhere by, but we're doing it.
Yeah.
So we just got to hope everybody is doing this, and that's the only way we're gonna get close.
Well said. Everybody's got to do their part. Coach, I'll let you get back to work. Really enjoyed the interview and the basketball conversation with you, and tell Coach Rock I said what's up. His Astros are doing pretty good to start the season, so I know he's in a good mood. So we'll talk to you. Come down to the studio when you get a chance, Coach, and then we can do this in person when you. But look, I'm not going to take you away from your job. You need to get all the work in you can with all the time off. But really appreciate you joining us today, Coach. I appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, and I'll take you up on it. I'm gonna come down there. All right.
All right, really enjoyed the chat with Antwon Jackson there, ECU assistant basketball coach, and kind of getting to know him a little bit. And Stephen Igoe joining me in the Pirate Radio studios. Coach Jackson obviously excited to be able to actually watch his players, Igoe, and take some shots. And he likes what he sees so far, very early on, but really neat to get to know him a little bit. Seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, another great addition to Joe Dooley's staff, and we kind of touched on it recently, but after having the chance to talk to Antwon, just like yourself, very impressed with his personality, his knowledge in basketball, his background. So, you know, I think with him and Coach Rock and Coach Right Easy and Coach Dooley, it's as strong a staff as ever. Looking forward to seeing, you know, especially once these guys can get out on the road and recruit, what type of guys they can bring in. But they're still doing work in that regard right now through video, like he talked about, and doing what they can with their connections.
Everything has changed for everyone this year, but for him, not being able to see a live basketball game since March 10th probably, and not being able to be in person to recruit kids and things like that. It's a different world for everyone, for sure. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. We'll have more with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors. Talk about the latest in Major League Baseball, college football, and why was Igoe not on the promotional graphic earlier today? We'll have to dive into that as well when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
To break the spell of aging, celebrity skin, is this your chin or is that war you're waging? Firstborn unicorn.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jonathan Ellerby, one of the proud owners and operators of Pirate Radio. As we launch into our 18th year in business, we have a lot of exciting new news to share with you. Our afternoon drive time show, Pirate Radio Live, has a new look and is now streaming every day from our brand new digital studio from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook Live, on our website, pr927fm.com, and in your car on 92.7 FM in Greenville and 104.1 in Washington. The new and improved PRL is hosted by Clip Brock and Shirley Rhodes and will feature the latest breaking news, top-notch guests, and all your favorite Pirate Radio personalities like The Voice, Jeff Charles, Brian Bailey, Stephen Igoe, Billy Weaver, Brian North, Tony Collins, Bryce Williams, Marcus Crandall, Ronnie Woodward, Morgan Ehlers, Mike Mullis, plus Troy D and myself. Give us a follow on social media at PR927FM for programming updates, guest alerts, and breaking news. Thank you for your loyalty and support, and I hope you enjoy the new and improved Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
Hey, this is Chef David Finelli. Did your doctor tell you that you need to lose weight and eat healthy? Well, mine did too. He just didn't tell me how. That's why I decided to open up Pop's Heart Healthy Meal Plans. You get 6 meals a week, low salt, low carbs, low fat, low cholesterol, high protein, and never frozen. I make them myself at the restaurant, and you pick them up on Mondays. I have lost 53 pounds with this plan and lowered my A1C. It's gourmet healthy food at only $9.95 a meal, and you can order yours today at Pop's on Charles Boulevard behind Krispy Kreme. Let me help you eat healthy.
At US Cellular, we believe in fairness. That's why we're committed to putting customers first and simply doing what's right. And that's why we have no hidden fees, no surprises on your bill. Because in wireless, treating people fairly is a choice. U.S. Cellular. Choose fair.
Taxes, certain charges such as RCRF and USF and additional restrictions apply.
Want to hear some good news? U.S. Cellular now offers home internet service. That's right, it's time to kick those other slow carriers to the curb and start letting Toby Williams and his staff provide you with their new high-speed unlimited home internet service. Tell your current satellite or cable internet provider to take a hike and call Toby today at 252-799-7051. Don't spend another minute dealing with slow internet speeds. Call Toby Williams today and start getting the internet speeds you've been waiting for. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
All right, in studio today with Wanda Montano, an East Carolina graduate and the new executive director of the Rocking Horse Ranch. Wanda, welcome. Tell us what's going on.
Rocking Horse is a wonderful nonprofit serving the community and providing therapeutic riding lessons and equine therapy for our students. We're having a lot of fun out at Rocking Horse Ranch, getting ready to reopen over the course of the summer, and we have lots of things planned for our clients to come back in. We're going to do a fundraiser in November, so save the date for November the 14th.
To learn more, visit rhrnc.com.
Have you ever seen those exotic aquariums like the guys do in Las Vegas on television? You ever thought about having one of these aquariums in your business? It's more affordable than you think. This is Hal Pruitt with rentafishtank.com. We can make having an aquarium in your business turnkey with no work, cleaning, or hassles for you. Rentafishtank.com creates a relaxing atmosphere and keeps children occupied. Rentafishtank.com already services many dental, pediatric, and doctor offices, plus hospitals and senior living centers. Check us out at rentafishtank.com.
If you're like many, you may have put on the Corona 5, 10, or even 15 over the last 2 months. Well, the weather is warm and it's time to get that body back on track. At Clean Eats, we have you covered. Our weekly meal plan will quickly help you get back to where you want to be. Order online at cleaneats.com. Our cafe is back open, sanitized, and waiting to serve you healthy lunch and dinner options for dine-in, takeout, curbside, or even delivered through our delivery partners. Clean Eats, it's a lifestyle. 805 Red Banks Road, Arlington Village.
Pirate Radio.
Being a part of the program, being a student athlete at ECU, they are going to be very much in the spotlight.
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
What I got to give it to your mama. What I got to give it to your papa. What I got to give it to your doctor. You do a little dancing and you drink a little water.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. When your AC needs some repair, call on the reliable service professionals, Delcor Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Go to DelcorInc.com or give them a call at 252-321-8868. Delcor, the service professionals in Greenville, North Carolina. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, welcome back into Pirate Radio Live, hour number 2 of today's show. Coming up at 5 o'clock, Bryant Packard will join us inside the Pirate Radio studios. We'll see what Pack is up to while he is unfortunately not playing baseball at the minor league level, but we'll talk to him about his ECU career and his pro career thus far and everything else. If you want to chime in with a question, you can do so on Facebook Live or Twitter. Stephen Igoe really enjoyed that one, Shirley Rhodes, 9 Inch Nails and Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was right up his alley.
Yeah, that's a good combo right there.
Oh, I thought you'd like it, but sometimes it's hard to tell because Stephen doesn't really, or at least from my point of view, he doesn't really kind of show emotion.
He's like a robot.
Yeah, and so most of the time I'll play bumper music. He doesn't really do anything, so I'm like, he doesn't like that
straight ahead.
I'm mainly a rock and roll guy. Anything with Chili Peppers in it is good. 9 Inch Nails is good, so I'm a fan of all that. I mean, usually if I'm not given a disapproving look, I usually am okay with it.
Or the nice little one finger salute.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Fair enough.
I mean, at least you did lead me off a graphic.
Yeah, there is some controversy
Yeah,
here.
there's some. Yeah.
So I
didn't do that.
We had a big show. A lot of great guests. Billy Weaver, big man on campus, Antwon Jackson, Bryant Packard. They all made the graphic that we put up today on our social media accounts, and all were tagged as guests on today's show. Stephen Igoe, a regular, was not, and I don't know. Glenn, do you have any answers as to why this happened?
The feed was behind. I'm sorry. I was listening to you on the YouTube. So I was behind your cue to talk.
Glenn, why was Igoe not on the promotional graphic?
I was unaware that he was coming today. I know that it's Tuesday and Igoe comes, but it looked like it was a stacked show. Like we had a full slate of people.
You had a lot of people.
So I was like,
not enough room for
Igoe must not be coming today. I did not write him down.
I thought it was like a much more sinister reason than
I was hoping there was going to be some controversy so I could legitimately get mad. But
that is actually just the cover-up story.
I mean,
There's many layers to this.
You did pause a little bit and try to come up with a story before you said the answer. So I'm not sure if I quite buy it.
There could be higher powers at play.
Who is the higher power? We should do a running storyline that ends with Vince McMahon taking the mask off.
How do you know that there wasn't a higher power at play and I'm just covering?
I don't.
At this point, I'm 70% sure that this was intentional.
I'm going to swerve you like Rikishi did when he hit Stone Cold with the car.
He did it for The Rock.
I did it for Brian Bailey.
Who is trying to keep Igoe down?
It could be Ronnie. You know, he's already played a couple pranks on me this year.
I did it for the Ron.
Could
very
be
possible.
Mr. Woodward. All right, Igoe, we've got, and things may have happened. Redbeard said this is how the NWO fell apart, leaving Igoe off the sheet.
I was real close to wearing my NWO shirt here today, so I wish I would have.
Baseball, college sports, there are updates hourly as to things that are happening in the sports world when it comes to coronavirus. So how about, we'll start Major League Baseball. The Marlins, like ECU Athletics was paused a couple weeks ago. Apparently the Marlins are paused currently. That affects the Phillies, who they were going to play, who can't play now against the Yankees. It also affects the Orioles, who are going to play the Marlins. So from what I saw from Jeff Passan, I believe the Orioles and Yankees are going to play beginning tomorrow instead of the Orioles and Marlins.
Yes, that's what I've seen as well. And the trickiest thing with baseball when you have an outbreak like this is you play every day, so the trickle-down effect from the schedule is just so hard to make up. And I had this conversation the other day with somebody. Even though football, it's more likely that you're going to have outbreaks with more people, 100 guys in one locker room, etc. At least you do have the benefit of having at least a week between games. So there's time to react, test, get the results back before you play each and every game. Whereas MLB, you've got to almost have instant results to from day to day to really know. So once you have one breakout, it is a trickle-down effect. And I was, listening to, a person who is familiar with recommended shutting down the Phillies for 5 days because, let's say, worst case scenario, if a number of Phillies players contracted the virus the final game of the Marlins series on Sunday, it wouldn't show in the initial testing on Monday and Tuesday and perhaps not till Wednesday. So it takes time for the virus to show on the test. So you don't want to run the Phillies out there and let's say they play their first game Wednesday and then all their tests don't show up positive till Thursday, and by then they've spread it on to the next team they're playing. So I think it is smart for them to shut down the Marlins, and for me, I would shut down the Phillies as long as possible. Obviously at some point you do have to continue, but you don't want this to spread to other teams because that's when you have the threat of shutting down the season.
There was a time in March where I couldn't imagine a sporting event without fans, and like my mindset has changed so much on that now that I'm willing to say for baseball, like screw the schedule and the stand. Like last night in our text group with Ronnie, you even said I'm watching again tonight just in case it's the last one. I feel like that's what we should do as sports fans now is just enjoy the games. Don't even worry about the standings or what happens next week because like Buster Olney said, he thinks baseball should not worry about 60 games and 57 games or how many, like having an equal amount of games. Use winning percentage if you have to when it comes to the playoffs, or just don't even worry about it at all. Just play the game if you're scheduled to and if both teams are able to, and we'll just go from there. We'll worry about next week kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I think you just have to do what you can to get through this season. And the reality of everybody finishing with 60 games was slim to none to begin with. Now that you have this, for the Marlins, they would, at this point, they're going to have to play 7 doubleheaders to make up the games, theoretically. I mean, I just don't see that. Or have no off days, which would not be fair. So, yeah, I agree. You play as many games as you can. if there's some crazy tiebreaker at the end of the year based on winning percentage, then maybe you play a tiebreaker game or something like that. But
you almost have to just go.
As you have to go.
Yeah, as you can. Like, if you have to play, like you said, a tiebreaker at the end. Okay, who cares if your playoffs don't start until another week? Like, just piecemeal this thing together the best you can.
Yeah, it's difficult, and but that's the way this has to be if you're going to go through it in this environment. I mean, you saw the Big 12 commissioner, Bob Bowlesby, said the other day, look, we all know if we get the okay to play in the coronavirus pandemic, you're going to have circumstances come up like this. You're going to have cancellations, postponements, etc. Everybody understands that, and you're going to have to do your best to work around it if we're going to play sports in this environment. So
it feels a lot easier with the pros than it does college, though, Igoe. But for football, like you said, you are only playing once a week. Maybe you could, if you have to tinker with the schedule a little bit,
at least there is time to look at it and switch things around. And that's why you're starting to see college football teams move up their scheduled games to put as much space as possible just in case they have to quarantine players or make adjustments. So, it'll be interesting to see what is there a drop dead number as far as like players that test positive on game week for the game to be canceled, or like how big does the outbreak have to be on a 100-man football roster? Let's say if you have 10 players test positive on Wednesday, does the game get canceled, or do you just move forward with the other 90 players? I mean, it's just those are the questions that really no one has an answer for unless the conferences or the NCAA come in and state those going into the season.
Speaking of moving games up, ECU scheduled to play, of course, August 29th against Marshall. Oklahoma moved a game up against Missouri State just over the weekend, so they're right now scheduled to play August 29th. And what was the announcement made today regarding that date, Igoe?
Yeah, so 24/7 Sports, Brandon Marcello, with our national college football reporter, reported that the NCAA has submitted or has allowed now a blanket waiver for any team that wants to move its game up to August 29th can do so. So at this point, all games can be started as soon as August 29th.
Week 0 could fill up quickly.
Yeah, Week 0 is the reality as of today per the NCAA. Now, I still think we're going to have to see approval from the specific league offices and the schools itself as far as whether or not those games will happen on time. But, I do take that as a good sign that the NCAA at least is willing to give its allowance to move games up, and essentially at this point no recommendation to shut things down, even though they're supposed to meet again next week. But the NCAA itself cannot stop FBS football from happening. That is up to the conferences and basically ESPN and the TV deals. They can shut down FCS and D2 and D3, but FBS is its own separate entity. And even if they shut every other sport down, if the American and the SEC want to go on and play football this fall, technically they can, even though it might not be the best look.
I brought it up with David Glenn and Troy D last week that almost like worst case scenario, could you turn this into boxing or UFC where you just schedule one-off games like coming up this Saturday in Jerry World? Alabama and Texas have agreed to play a game, and hell, the TV networks would go crazy for it.
Yeah.
I don't know, and the schools would make money off that. Again, this is just kind of thinking outside the box, but almost treating this college football season as like separate bowl games or something. ECU and NC State have agreed to play at Carter Finley or whatever. I don't know. Just kind of thinking of the worst, because the more these schedules start to get chopped up, the more I think it's going to be like this Major League Baseball season where they're scheduling games on the fly and having to kind of, go off the beaten path, so to speak.
I think you're going to see, if we have a season, kind of a, not a full scenario like that, but basically you're going to have some scenarios where teams have to pivot on game week because they find out on Tuesday or Wednesday that there's a COVID outbreak for the team they're playing. Let's say that team is okay and there's another team that needs a game. I could see middle of the week, or maybe not that specific week, but hey, if we have a bye week here, let's move this game. There's just going to be a lot of moving puzzle pieces to try and get as many games in as possible. And it's going to be another thing where let's just get through the season, play as many games as we can. Not everybody has to have maybe 11 or 12 games. Just play how many games you can. And I just think we're in such uncharted territory. You're going to see a lot of changes week by week, day by day, and I do think you'll see some games scheduled on short notice, even though coaches, as much as they want to play, hard to come up with a football game plan in a couple days.
Shirley, let's take a time out. As we go to break, Igoe, remember that we rewatched that UConn game that was played on a Sunday? That was part of a rescheduling.
Yeah.
Do you remember off the top of your head how far notice ECU and UConn got on that? Was it weeks? I feel like it came together pretty quickly because it was early in the season.
Yes.
So
I'll try to look it up during the break, but it couldn't have been more than 1 or 2 weeks.
Right. So kind of sort of been there before from that aspect with shuffling games in conference. Now that was the AAC shuffling games amongst themselves. So just some kind of prior example of what we could see in 2020. We'll take a timeout, come back, and have more with Stephen Igoe. Hoist the colors after this.
The dog days of summer are here. The Humane Society of Eastern Carolina is excited to be partnered with Pirate Radio and Pitt Printing to make Greenville greater than ever. This is Shelby from the Humane Society of Eastern Carolina, and if you're headed to the beach, the river, or the pool, then stop by and see us to pick up a t-shirt and 2 koozies for only $20. Help rescue pets here in Pitt County and make Greenville greater than ever by getting your shirt and koozies at the Humane Society of Eastern Carolina or Pitt Printing today.
Back to school is here, and the Auto Store Group is committed to helping our customers drive the best quality pre-owned vehicles and is committed to caring about our kids and our community. This is Bryce Williams from the Auto Store Group, and right now during our Backpack to School event, every time we sell a vehicle, we'll be making a $50 donation to any local school that the customer chooses. The Auto Store Group, 3 locations, over 150 vehicles online at theautostoregroup.com, and most importantly, proud members of the Eastern North Carolina community for over 38 years.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners Independent Agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
The new Pirates Cove Car Wash on 10th Street is now open. The 10th Street location is offering Fast Passes for $9.99 for new Fast Pass customers. These Fast Passes will be good at all 3 Greenville locations. Visit us on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and now on East 10th Street. And coming soon, Haviland Express Lube and Pirates Cove Car Wash in New Bern.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Over 32 years ago, the Ronald McDonald House of Eastern North Carolina opened its doors as a place to help families stay together and close to the care they need when they have a sick child. With the addition of a second Ronald McDonald House inside the Maynard Children's Hospital, our need to serve is greater than ever as the medical community flourishes. Help us expand our mission of keeping families close as we grow to meet that need. You can show your support by making a donation to the Ronald McDonald House. Visit our website today at rmhenc.org for more information. Thank you for your support.
UBE is now back open to serve the Pirate Nation. UBE is striving for the best customer experience, practicing social distancing, cleaned and sanitized contact surfaces, and curbside service. Our hours are now 10 to 6, Monday through Friday, and 10 to 5 on Saturday. PirateWear.com is open 24 hours a day with in-store pickup available. Please be sure to follow UBE and PirateWear.com on all social media platforms. UBE and PirateWear.com, serving the Pirate Nation for over 50 years.
At Papa John's, they want you to know from their 450-degree oven to box to you, it is their policy that your pizza is never touched once it comes out of the oven. And they are taking extra steps like no-contact delivery to ensure it. For lunch or dinner, order Papa John's. Try some of the new menu items like the Papadilla, part sandwich and part pizza for only $6. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
In studio with String Bing, also known as Rob Hall to friends and family, YF3.
Told somebody recently that how many guys could you call if something hit the fan at 2 o'clock in the morning that would be there for you? A lot of folks don't know who they'd call. I have 100 guys that I could call that I know would be there. So F3 is a band of brothers, and if you're looking for a group of guys that'll hold you accountable and will push you to be a better father, to be a better leader, to be a better citizen in the community, F3 is for you.
Learn more today at f3enc.com.
This is Big John Williams, strength and conditioning coach for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. From sales to service, Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility. Brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right. Thank you, Shirley Rhodes.
What? Oh, that's
I
two.
had the head bob going.
Oh, that's two head bobs in the span of an hour. I am killing it today.
This sets a new personal record for me.
Yeah.
You know, this is better than the regular Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I wouldn't go that far.
Okay.
But it's good.
Shirley Rhodes, Glenn Griffin producing today's program. Got Bryant Packard joining us in just a moment. Stephen Igoe is here enjoying some baseball. The Indians up 4-1 on the White Sox in the fourth inning. Edwin
Encarnacion. You know what he does when he rounds the bases?
What?
He carries a parrot.
Oh, that's right. Why does he do that?
He's just always done it. There's no real reason, but he just does it.
Honorary pirate.
Yeah.
Edwin Encarnacion. We'll see if he can do that in this at-bat as the Indians have a lead. We've got not a full slate of baseball tonight because the Marlins and O's aren't playing. The Yankees and Phillies aren't playing. This is game one of a doubleheader, by the way.
Yeah.
As I was looking at the schedule when I got home last night and noticed that they were postponed. I was like, oh, crap, what happened? But it was the traditional rain postponement, I was happy to see that. You know what I'm saying?
I was about to say, yeah. When else are we going to be happy about just an inclement weather postponement? But this season, as opposed to a COVID-19 postponement. But you know what I'm most excited about on today's slate of Major League Baseball?
Astros play the Yankees. Probably not that.
No, the Mariners are playing a traditional West Coast start time. They've been playing the Astros, but to me, there's nothing like West Coast baseball, staying up late, chilling, getting some work done, falling asleep to some West Coast baseball, and they play at the Angels tonight, so I can fall asleep when the Mariners are losing. And it's just a great feeling.
Okay, all right, you're a great feeling to
Lynn's
see
over there shaking his head because he knows.
To see the Mariners lose late at night, it's just nothing like it.
I mean, it's just chill. It puts me to sleep and it relaxes me. It's just awesome.
The West Coast NBA. It's that you get that 10 o'clock-ish start time where you kind of put it on as you're going to bed.
You know there's going to be a game on that late, so
you watch the first half.
Chill, yeah.
You watch the first half, fall asleep at some point, and then catch the rest on SportsCenter in the morning.
It kind of stinks that the East is so bad and the West is so good because usually that double-header game on TNT is the actual good game, but it's like so late.
What I like is even with all the teams being in Orlando, we're still going to get some West Coast starts.
Yeah. And
they're just playing all day.
Some afternoon starts, some early afternoons. Like it's going to be all day long. And look, Saturday the Canes face off at noon. So and they do the same, I think, on next Monday. So we're going to have sports nonstop coming up very, very soon.
Saturday is an all-day event.
Saturday. Glenn's Saturday.
Saturday is an all-day event.
Yes, sir.
A lot going on.
Looking forward to it. We heard Big John on the liner coming back in. I go,
Big John.
What's Big John doing with the football team right now? Is he involved with the coaches and the walkthroughs and everything with conditioning, I would imagine?
He's, I don't know exactly how they're doing it, but they're doing conditioning and strength training in kind of around these walkthroughs, and sometimes I know during traditional preseason camp practices they'll do conditioning at the end of practice on certain days. So, again, we've only been out there for 30 minutes on one day, so I don't know exactly how they're doing it right now. The access is pretty limited, but he's been on the field training those guys, whether it be conditioning or strength training in the weight room in a limited fashion with the social distancing since really early July as far as mandatory workouts, and then the guys have been in the weight room since June. So, I mean, he's been around them as much as he's allowed since June. The guys that were able to come back early for voluntary workouts have been putting in the work, and so he's doing what he can.
I remember Ronnie saw, what's the kid's name? Is it CJ Mayhew, the pitcher for ECU?
Yeah.
Is there a Mayhew?
CJ Mayhew.
He saw him briefly, like during some workout, and he looked really good, and Ronnie said, all right, that's my guy. And literally he saw him for like 5 minutes. And he was so you've only seen a little bit of football. Who made a good play, or who looked good out there that is now your guy since you saw a glimpse of him? Igoe.
Who looked good out there running around in no pads and no helmet without any contact in a contact sport?
Who is it?
Travion Freshwater.
Freshwater is the guy. That's an easy pick. I could have made that pick.
Yeah, D'Angelo McKinney's another defensive lineman. Both those guys stuck out to me just from the eye test.
Well, also, those are two guys Mike Houston brought up, especially McKinney. I guess McKinney is a guy that took care of himself when he was away from the team because Coach Houston talked highly of him, and that's going to go a long way as far as setting a depth chart early in the season. Who came back ready to go? Who doesn't need additional work right now,
Yeah, that's the thing is, walking out there, you could tell a lot of guys took really good care of themselves. Some of them, didn't do as much work. Some of them did just enough. So, and the thing about football and practicing, they're going in the afternoon a lot right now, and it was 97 degrees when I was out there. Even an hour practice in 97-degree heat in Eastern North Carolina in the afternoon. I mean, you can get in shape pretty quickly after a few weeks of practice. The toughest transition for football is going to be, we talk about social distancing, and they're trying to practice right now as best as possible social distancing, but you can't play a game, and you can't legitimately practice football social distancing. So at some point, you're going to have to ramp things up. You're going to have to put the pads on and hit somebody, especially these young linemen, or else they're just not going to be ready for games. And that's the biggest transition for me is when that process happens. They got to start off in just helmets and shorts on Friday and Saturday, and then it transitions to shells where they put shoulder pads on, and then full pads next week if everything goes as scheduled. And that's when you kind of want to see how it goes and what the testing results will be from that type of practice.
Complaining about tackling is it comes up quite a bit, and it's an issue across the board, and we could be seeing an all-time worst tackling effort in 2020.
There's no doubt.
In college football due to the lack of spring, which they don't do probably much anyway as far as tackling, but there's going to be a lot of whiffs in the 2020 season. Igoe.
ECU, we know all too well, has enough tackling problems historically as it is. So Blake Harrell's a pretty fundamental coach. That was the worst call I've ever seen.
I don't know, it was close
on this thing we're watching.
We may have seen back-to-back double plays with the bases loaded with one out as each team.
He looked pretty out to me.
We're watching baseball in here. We got Bryant Packard coming up. Is Pat going to be able to watch baseball? Like, he should be playing baseball.
He's watching two AL Central rivals right now, too. So
we'll see.
About this.
I tell you what, we got to take a timeout. Do you want to stick around, or you got to go?
I can stick around for one segment.
All right, one segment with Igoe and Packard, the rest with Bryant Packard, as he will join us when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Do you think you might have been exposed to COVID-19? Maybe you're planning to visit parents, family, or friends. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. Arc Point Labs of Greenville offers easy solutions to COVID-19 testing. Arc Point Labs of Greenville is located across from Bryant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. Arc Point Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Troy D.
proud to be co-founder and one of the owners and operators of Pirate Radio. As we launch into our 18th year in business, we have a lot of exciting news to share. Our afternoon drive show, PRL Pirate Radio Live, has a new look and is now streaming live every day from our brand new digital studio from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You can find us on our Pirate Radio YouTube page and our Facebook page, plus our website, pr927fm.com. If you're in your car, put us on 92.7 FM in Greenville or 104.1 FM in Washington. The new and improved 3-hour PRL is hosted by Clip Rock and Shirley Rhodes and will feature the latest breaking news, awesome guests, and your favorite Pirate Radio personalities like The Voice Jeff Charles, Brian Bailey, Stephen Igoe, Billy Weaver, Brian North, Tony Collins, Bryce Williams, Marcus Crandall, Ronnie Woodward, Morgan Ehlers, Mike Mullis, plus LRB and myself. Give us a follow on social media at PR927FM and get the latest programming updates, guest alerts, and breaking news. Thank you for your loyalty and your support, and we hope you enjoy the new and improved Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
North Carolina state parks are now open for visitors. Parks should be used for exercise, fresh air, getting out in nature, or a day trip as the state safely reopens. Visitors should enjoy themselves, but please remember the 3 W's. Wear face coverings, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often. Focus on moving through the park, keep social distancing in mind, and avoid large groups. While most facilities and activities will be open, please contact any state park before your visit with questions or visit ncparks.gov/open.
How much does the word reliable mean? Sure, all businesses describe themselves as reliable, and we certainly wouldn't expect any business to be unreliable, but when you take a word like reliable and make it your way of life, the entire core of your business, it tends to mean a little more. And it's something you have to show people, not tell them. At Delcor, we show it by being there the same day you call. We show it by simply doing outstanding work with exceptional products, a family-oriented work ethic, and genuine caring for all of our neighbors throughout Eastern NC, because in a time of need, we know the first and the only thing you need is someone you can count on. That's why we only use equipment you can count on too, like a train comfort system. It's hard to stop a train. Delcor can have a new train comfort system installed in no time, or we can provide an AC tune-up to make sure your system is performing well. So will your system keep you cool all summer? Find out. Call us. We're Delcor, the service professionals, reliable for over 4 decades. Visit DelcorInc.com today.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Gloria, why is ignoring pain not a good thing?
Ignoring pain is not a good thing because when you ignore pain, the greater chance of it getting worse. One thing our therapists always say is pain is like an engine light. So if you're driving, you see an engine light and it cuts on, you don't want to just turn it off and keep on driving. You want to check it out. So, and a lot of times people ignore pain because they just may not know what the pain is and they're just not properly educated. So on our site, we have even a blog site that talks about pain and what it is and how you can do to improve it.
Visit kptonline.com for more information.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington.
Yo. His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bombs. But he keeps on forgetting.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Well, welcome back to the show. And Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 27 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit QualityEquip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Hour number 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Clip Brock here with you. Stephen Igoe still here. And Bryant Packard has joined us inside the Pirate Radio studios. What's up, Pack?
What's up, guys?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I know you wish you were on TV.
Yeah, I do wish I was on TV. It's pretty cool we can actually watch something, though, live nowadays.
Yeah, it is nice to have some baseball. We'll talk about where you are in your baseball career in this weird 2020. Talk about some of your playing days here as well. Got a few questions. I thought we'd get like questions from fans, but it's more like
It's like Agnos and Massive.
inside baseball questions.
Yeah.
Type stuff. We'll get to that as well. So all hour, Bryant Packard will be here. If you want to chime in with a question or comment, you can do so on Twitter or Facebook Live. And I think Stephen Igoe is going to hang around one more segment.
I did say that I was only going to stay one more segment, so I'm going to debate whether I'm actually going to be here when we return.
This is technically a segment.
This is a full segment.
But this is an open to
a
big hour number 3.
This is an opening segment, so this counts.
All right, whatever.
I'm glad you're here.
I might be leaving, so I don't know. We'll see.
Will Igoe be here when we return? We'll find out in 4 minutes. We're back after this.
There's nothing like Pirate Game Days.
He's got the ball. He starts right. He goes left, and there he goes. 10, 5, touchdown Pirates. Hope Nailers takes it in from 21 yards out.
The sight of a tailgate. The roar of the crowd. Support the Pirate Club and buy your season tickets today by visiting ECUPirates.com. We're in this together. All hands on deck. One Pirate Nation.
It's mowing season at Quality Equipment, and we've made it easier than ever to shop for your new John Deere tractor from home. Visit QualityEquip.com to browse new equipment, apply for credit with John Deere Financial, and get your purchase started without ever having to leave the house. Plus, Quality Equipment is now offering free delivery on new John Deere 1 through 5 series tractors. You'll be ready to tackle all your chores without breaking your budget. Visit QualityEquip.com for details. Offer valid until June 30th, 2020. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
This is Stephen Igoe, publisher of Hoist the Colors. Want the latest on ECU football, basketball, baseball, and recruiting? We're now running a special you don't want to miss. From July 27th through July 31st, you can get 60% off an annual subscription to Hoist the Colors. That will give you VIP access to the site for an entire year, from exclusive recruiting content to the inside information on what's happening behind the scenes. 60% off from July 27th through the 31st. Go to hoistthecolors.net for more details.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
White Claw Hard Seltzer. Discover a new wave of refreshment. Crafted using seltzer water, 5% alcohol, and a hint of fruit. Available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with natural flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, 2019 Chicago. Visit whiteclaw.com for full nutritional information.
It's summertime, and there's no better time to drive away in a quality pre-owned car or truck from Greenville Auto World. Let Greenville Auto World show you how easy it is to buy a quality used car in Greenville. We believe fair prices, superior service, and treatment.
Fork. Hey Pirate fans, this is Cliff Godwin. Our youth baseball camp is right around the corner, August 3rd through August 7th. We will now host this camp at J.H. Rose High School baseball facility. Campers will get baseball instruction from ECU coaching staff as well as members of the 2019-2020. Campers will learn fundamentals as well as play games. Camp will now run from 9 a.m. to noon and will follow all state and local health guidelines. For more information, visit cliffgodwinbaseballcamp.com. We hope to see you there. Go Pirates!
Weekdays are a great time to visit North Carolina State Parks. The best time to learn about nature is to be able to look, listen, and feel its natural beauty. A visit to the North Carolina State Parks is perfect for homeschoolers, scout groups, and teachers looking for a fun field trip during the week. You'll be amazed at all the natural wildlife you'll see when you experience the beauty of each North Carolina State Park. Visit ncparks.gov to get all the information on the closest park near you.
Pirate Radio.
We are Eastern North Carolina's football program.
In time, we will be North Carolina's football program.
The voice of the Pirate Nation.
Girl, I must warn you. I said something strange in my mind. Yo.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back, and taking a look at your stock market report for today. The Dow closed down 205 points and finished at 26,379. The NASDAQ is behind 134 points at 10,402, and the S&P dropped 20 and finished at 3,218. That is your Wells Fargo Advisors financial report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, welcome back into the program, hour number 3 on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Shirley Rhodes, Glenn Griffin producing. Stephen Igoe decided to stick around. I think he forgot to leave. And now
I'm actually going to leave mid-segment now.
Okay, sounds good. And Bryant Packard is here. Pat, great to have you in studio. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Nice studio you got here. Had some additions. I brought my mask just in case. I don't know
That's
what
fine,
you guys
yeah.
been up to.
That's fine. I'm trying to distance.
It's hard to talk into a mic with a mask on.
It's very hard.
I feel like you're safe. I mean, you can go full social
that's
distance
all right.
if you want.
I don't know what you guys are up to. So.
That's a good point. Yeah,
you are a professional baseball player, so you got to take care of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Yeah, we shouldn't affect you. That would be bad.
Does that make it essential, I guess?
You are,
yes.
certainly.
Okay. All right.
How do you feel about watching a Major League Baseball game right now?
It's very weird. It's almost like all spring training, and it's I don't know. I obviously want to be there. Seeing a lot of guys that I kind of know now have gotten a chance from the taxi squad, the preseason actual games. But it's really cool. It's fun to actually watch again.
And it's neat hearing you talk during the break that not only could you be at this point very soon in your career, but like your buddies are out there. Like, oh yeah, I played with this guy here. I remember this guy from 3 years ago. They're at the big league level now.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like even somebody like Bo Bichette, I played against him. We're the same age, and he's an all-star now. So it's just crazy to think.
What about the Tigers? Bryant got off to a good start. 2-1.
They did.
Won their first series. Are you like watching those games like a? I don't know if fan is the word, but you like all into it, rooting for them and stuff?
I mean, I know the whole roster now, so I mean, I'm a Cubs fan, and I don't even know their whole roster anymore. So, I don't know. I guess I root for them a little bit. Yeah, it's fun to watch.
Where are you, so what they're doing now, they have their big league roster, but they also have a pool of players they can pull from up to the big league team to play. Are you still like a doctor on call, so to speak?
Yeah.
Like there's a chance you could be called up?
Yeah, so they check in on us once a week, make sure we're healthy, doing everything we're supposed to do. They actually sent us a blast sensor you put on the bottom of your bat, and they kind of track everything you're doing, making sure you're up to speed, making sure we're not slacking because it's easy to do that nowadays.
It's like a Fitbit for your bat.
Yeah,
they can read what you're doing?
Yeah, exactly.
Man, Big Brother is taking over.
So if we're doing bad, they'll text us, be like, hey, don't do that. But yeah, like you said, I'm on call. Obviously, I'm itching to get back out there, but weird times.
So where are you getting your work in these days? In the meantime, just trying to stay sharp and get some swings in and everything.
Yeah, so the governor approved a law that college and professional athletes can actually work out because they're the essential. So I've been going over to next level and working out with Trent Britt and Lance Martin. So I've been able to work out with Trent and hit with Lance Martin, and they're doing a great job of socially distancing over there and doing all the guidelines.
Is it quality or quantity when you're in the cage? Do you want to get a certain number of swings in a day, or do you want to get a certain number of good swings?
Well, now I'm just so bored all the time that I hit like for way longer than I'm used to. So I guess right now it is quantity.
And by the way, I mean, you had a phenomenal career at ECU, but also had your share of injuries. Like health-wise, are you straight there?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really done anything. I've lost like 20 pounds. I've taken like diet and working out seriously for the first time ever. So
eating right and not
22 years late, but we're doing it now. So.
Talking to Bryant Packard, Stephen Igoe hanging out inside the Pirate Radio studio. Steve Hill says he got an autographed jersey piece rookie card of Bryant.
Oh, did you?
On that note, could you sign this paper for me?
Yes, I can.
So that's pretty interesting, the card game. My buddy, who's my age, we used to be really into it in the early 90s, and now he buys and sells cards and stuff. And The old Bonds, Griffey stuff, Igoe, that's nothing these days.
Right.
Like the Boba shit who you just brought up, like that's the money makers. But how about when you get drafted and stuff? Do they just like throw you a bunch of cards and stuff and say, "Here, Bryant, sign these for the next 2 hours"?
So I'm hanging out in my living room, and my dad walks in with just a hands full of just boxes. I'm like, "What the hell is that, Dad?" And he said, "It's from Topps." So I had to sign 5,000 cards.
Oh, man.
And at least it was 2 weeks. When I was with USA, you had to sign 5,000 in like 2 hours.
Man.
So it's just terrible. I couldn't move my wrist for a week. But they don't let you keep any of them. They pay you for signing them, obviously, but you can't keep any of them. And then it's just funny. My mom likes to go on eBay. You'll see one for $99 and then one for like 2 nickels. So
yeah, right.
Like no one's gonna buy that, man. Like I don't know what they're doing. But
There's a Pirate fan that'll buy that, I'm sure. Steve, you better appreciate that. Hard work from Bryant Packard.
Yeah,
signing that stuff.
Brian, you mentioned kind of your early time with the Tigers. What guys in the system maybe have you gotten to know? Become tight friends with, gotten to that you text maybe back and forth, some of those guys?
Yeah, I actually just bought a house with Andre Lipsius out of Tennessee. He's a third rounder, so that's kind of our spring training spot. Cooper Johnson from Ole Miss, Conequiggle, Grand Canyon. There's a lot of familiar faces in the Tigers organization. So Austin Bergner from UNC, if you remember him. So all those guys are awesome. They're my friends. We talk almost every day. So I was very lucky with my draft class.
Tigers are in Detroit to play the Royals tonight at 7:10. How about those guys that are in that pool? What do you call them? A taxi squad? Where are they right now? What are they doing day to day, Brian?
They are in Toledo, Ohio. So when I talked to Torkelson, he said they're basically just doing like a abbreviated spring training thing, just getting their work in. I think it's the same thing I'm doing here, honestly, but they're just doing it in a much bigger park.
Yeah. Well, you're not in a bubble, so
yeah, I'm not in a bubble, but I'm not getting paid like those guys.
That's the nice trade-off, right?
I'd be in a bubble. I'd be in a dirty bubble.
Put Bryant in a bubble, and then show him the money. So, what is your situation with that? I mean, not to get too much into your personal finances, but I know. Like, we talked, I remember on a Zoom, you didn't even know how much you were making, by the way. That was funny.
Yeah.
You were, like, asking Jake Washer, like, what are we getting paid? Or somebody, whoever was at your house that day. But, like, our minor league, are you specifically still getting anything from the big league team?
Yeah, so I get a taxed $400 a week, which isn't bad. It's enough to pay for a car payment. But, it's not for the whole year, obviously. It's only until the season runs out as of now. And I don't think any team has agreed to paying throughout the whole season. It's like a month-to-month type thing. So we get paid bi-weekly around $800. So it's not bad. I mean, some teams, like I think it's the A's, just completely stop paying their guys. Just, cold turkey. But so at least the Tigers are doing something for them.
Yeah.
I think you did post on social media the other day you were job hunting. So
I was job hunting.
Did you find any jobs in the meantime?
I'm all over Facebook asking for everything and anything. I haven't settled on anything yet. I've had a few interviews, but the unemployment check honestly might be a little better than any job I get. So I get the unemployment check from Michigan. The week I don't get paid from the Tigers. So.
How about that?
So you got to figure it out somewhat at least.
Yeah,
not survive for the time being.
I got a little equation going on.
You ever thought of just setting up which is hard to do now with social distancing, but like just on Greenville Boulevard, like an autograph table? Be like, come on up.
A lemonade stand or something? No.
$5.
Yeah.
Or you could just be one of the homeless people who holds up.
You can hold a sign.
Collecting the cans off the, I can do that.
We'll hit in your back. We'll play catch with you for $5. Look, there's Pirate fans crazy enough I might do
there's
that.
There's some good people that would do it.
Brian, let's go back to some of your ECU days and what you remember about your time, because you were a Conley Viking and then a Pirate, and Cliff Godwin's first class. Were you his first recruit?
I was the first commit.
That's pretty cool.
Me and Brickhouse argue about that all the time.
You were definitely first, because I remember talking to you, a young Bryant Packard, after your commitment.
Yeah, I think you remember Zach Moore. I think he was under Billy, but other than him, I was the first one.
Well, did you have any thoughts of playing ball at any other school?
Yes, I had. Ultimately, I would go on visits, but ultimately I knew I was going to go to ECU. It was more of just kind of like an experience thing.
Who was whining and dining you the hardest outside of ECU?
Duke, for sure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Duke. And my mom really wanted me to go there. I think she's glad I went to ECU, but she really wanted me to go there, obviously, for the education.
Yeah.
And they tried to give me a pretty good scholarship. But I'd say Duke, VTech, and not Carolina. I didn't even... Really. But Michigan actually talked to me a lot. Eric Backage, yeah. I would get letters in the mail from them all the time. But like I said, ultimately, I'm pretty sure it was going to be ECU.
Pirate flavor, obviously, with Backage.
Yeah.
Duke, your favorite road venue, right, Igoe? Their stadium?
Man, their own campus stadium is a complete joke. Now, playing in the Durham Bulls Stadium, I'm sure was cool, and going there to cover a game was cool, but covering a game at their own campus stadium, I thought I was going to die from a foul ball because there's no netting or anything. It's just a complete joke.
Yeah,
So-
there's the only netting is the dugouts, it feels like.
Yeah, that's it. And the Greenville
protection.
I mean, honestly, the Greenville Little League is in a class of its own compared to that. Like its park, and even the Winterville Rec Park is better than Duke's on-campus baseball stadium.
Yeah, I'd have to. The Durham Ballpark might make up for it.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
You were asked about the worst ballpark, and you I like that Jake Agnos called you out, like, Bryant, don't answer the questions on Twitter, you answer them on the show.
Well, it's like a little, like it's like a trailer, you a
Little teaser.
Yeah,
A trailer. So what your answer was USF?
Yeah.
Was that just because you hate all those dudes?
Yeah, it's just because I hate USF. But I always will. I completely despise them. But and it's just super hot there. But I will say Beloit was absolutely terrible. I think it was where I hit my first 2 professional home runs just because center field wall was like 320.
So Beloit, this is Corey Glore asked the question.
Yeah.
This is where? Where's?
Dude, I don't even remember what state it was in.
I believe, is it Wisconsin? I Googled it.
I think so. I think it's Wisconsin.
Okay.
Yeah. We traveled so much there.
Who were you playing with then?
It was the Whitecaps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
West Michigan Whitecaps. So that was low A.
320 to center. I mean, that must be quite the hitter's
It's
park.
terrible. Yeah, it's the Oakland A's, so it's their affiliates.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I never really minded Connecticut, though. I know that
Which they've upgraded now.
Yeah,
I guess you missed out on that.
Yeah, I did miss out on that. I did get to go to that park, the AAA affiliate. What is it called? The Yard Goats?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we got to play there once, but I loved Connecticut.
Well, we're on the topic of stadiums. Didn't y'all play at UCF one time? They had like a band playing during a baseball game in the
That was
stands?
the most awkward baseball game I've ever played. But their players were getting so pissed because it was behind their dugout.
Right.
And they're just ripping, the drums and just the trumpets, and they're getting so mad.
I remember listening to play.
So they thought it would create an atmosphere or something with
They're
a
probably
band?
more
I think it was
band
an
members.
experiment. And
than fans.
There was more band members than fans.
A failed
So
experiment.
I remember listening to Corey Glore and like just hearing the band play in the background. Like, what
There's
the
a
heck?
band in the background.
Like, what is going on?
Well,
in
we
that
thought they were
stadium?
going to play the national anthem, and then they play their fight song every single inning, 1 through 9, and you're just kind of confused as to what's going on.
Well, it got in your head. Did y'all win?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
smoked them,
It didn't work. All right.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Question from Jake Washer.
Jesus.
He said,
Who's that?
I have no idea.
And he's kind of calling you out. You said you lost weight. He said, knowing that you currently weigh more than a full-grown tiger, has it made you reevaluate your life's choices?
He weighs more than a full-grown cub, which is a bear. So he plays for the Chicago Cubs.
Yes.
Yes. I don't remember the question he asked.
Maybe that was a better question before you lost the weight and started eating right.
Yeah, I
perhaps.
guess. Yeah.
How's Jake doing?
He's doing all right. He's still at the same spot, doing his stuff every day, gaining his weight because he doesn't have a good diet. So.
How's your buddy Agnos doing?
Agnos hanging in there. He's also gone on a diet. His arm's feeling really good. He's kind of ramped it up. The Yankees got him on like a full program. I'm sure they've got him on the best of the best with the Yankees.
I was talking to Ronnie Woodward, who caught up with Agnos and also caught up with Evan Krasinski, and he said that because Krasinski played AAA. Did he start AAA, or there was no start this year? So last year he was at AAA, and he said that, and he was kind of reading into Evan's comments, I think, but he was kind of upset that he wasn't a part of the Cardinals taxi squad, which I guess shows how close he was to kind of being a part of the big league squad. You and Jake are paying your dues, I guess, a little bit, but you guys aren't too far off, are you?
Yeah, we're not, and that's the thing, man. Every team's different. I'm kind of in a good position with the Detroit Tigers, and the Cardinals and Yankees are obviously really good, and who knows what their plan is. Guys like your Mariners, they're just bringing up prospects and trying to develop them. So I was kind of surprised that Cruz wasn't brought up either, because the Cardinals don't have a lot of left-handers in their organization, and he's obviously one of the better ones if he's in AAA. So.
Yeah, you look at a guy like Alec Burleson, who just got picked in the top 5 rounds, who doesn't get to go with the Cardinals. So he has a shortened college season, then he doesn't get to go pro. Where you look at the Mariners, they took, I think, all their top 5 picks to the 60-man roster. So it's kind
of top 5 picks from this year.
From this year,
oh, wow.
yeah. So it's just, or at least the majority of them. So it's just a team-by-team basis, which depends on what they're playing. Obviously, Tigers, are in kind of a rebuilding mode. But have you talked to Burleson at all about kind of what he's doing, his draft process, and also not getting the chance to go right away?
Yeah, obviously Burley was ecstatic about where he got picked. We all knew he was going to get picked high. It's just a matter of when and where. I actually talked to him today about it, and he's kind of in the dark about everything too. The Cardinals are obviously focused on winning, their division. Kind of haven't told him very much. He's just doing his own thing, working out, hitting. Just pretend like it's the season again. It's just I couldn't imagine not playing my junior year of college and then not even playing my first half year of pro ball because I feel like that was the best one. It's just weird times, man.
Igoe, you need to run.
You saying I think he's trying to
kick him out. Oh,
Igoe, you need to run more.
Yeah, no, I do need to run.
You have good definition. Your sleeves get higher and higher every day you come in here.
It's because I keep drying my shirts too much. That's what happens.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll get out of here.
Thanks for hanging out, Steve.
Thanks for having me.
We'll see you later on this week. We'll take a timeout, come back, have more with Bryant Packard in the Pirate Radio studios. You got a question for Bryant, you can drop it on Facebook Live or Twitter. More with Pack after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Cadillac. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get the all-new 2020 Cadillac XT4 lease qualifier for 39 months with 10,000 miles a year for only $359 a month. Money due at signing. Brown & Wood is your home of the lifetime warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey, Pitt County Schools families, we hope you're having a great summer so far and enjoying time with your friends and family. School will start on August 17th following strict state guidelines, so we want to keep you, our students, our parents, and our community informed throughout the summer with our information campaign called The Road to Reopening. You'll find all the information you need to prepare for the next school year by going to our website at pittschools.org or by keeping up with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Service for homes and businesses.
Yes, we have a 2-step process that includes disinfecting and also provides 30 days of protection to all surfaces treated. We're doing this for 10 cents a square foot in businesses and $10 a room in your home.
Mike, how can folks get in touch with you?
Call me directly at my cell, 252-999-0001. Again, 3 9s, 3 zeros, and a 1. Or fixednc.com.
Your CBD store is the largest CBD retailer in the country and has now sailed into Greenville for the Pirate Nation. Your CBD store has the highest quality, all-natural products with no chemicals. Stop in today and receive 15% off your first purchase with the code PIRATE. Your CBD store is located on Arlington Boulevard next to Duck Donuts. Your CBD store Greenville, where good health hits home. Remember, use the code PIRATE for 15% off your first purchase. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
Looking for your next career opportunity or even just some extra cash to help pay for school? Your locally owned Dixon Foods McDonald's is hiring across Eastern North Carolina. Flexible hours, competitive pay, and even financial support to pursue your education through McDonald's Archways to Opportunity program. With plans to provide more than 100 new jobs currently, we hope you'll visit DixonFoods.com to learn more. Dixon Foods, proud to be your locally owned and locally operated franchisee for McDonald's.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low, low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
The Uptown Greenville Umbrella Market is back. Join us every Wednesday starting at 5 p.m. at the 5 Points Plaza. The Umbrella Market features vendors including produce, meat, baked goods, and handcrafted essentials. Stop by for groceries and then grab some dinner from one of the various Uptown restaurants. Enjoy the open-air night market each Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. Join us as the Uptown Greenville Umbrella Market is back.
This is Marcus Crandall, former ECU Pirate and Grey Cup champion. And you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. Hey, Tiebreakers now offers free delivery. Call in or order online at tiebreakersnc.com, and your food will be delivered to your home or office for free. Tiebreakers open every day at 11 a.m. and now offering free delivery. Follow Tiebreakers on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Broad.
All right, thank you, Shirley. Glenn Griffin also producing today's program, and great to have Bryant Packard here inside the Pirate Radio studios because honestly, he has nothing better to do right now.
I have nothing better to do, so thank you for having me.
It's great to get you guys while you're not busy. Hopefully, this time next year, Pack, you'll be extremely busy.
Yeah, that's
just tearing up the baseball
that's
somewhere.
The plan.
I know you're probably not going to have an answer for this, but any idea where you might be playing to start the 2021 season?
Well, I think I was supposed to play in high A this year because that's the coach that calls me every week, and he's the one that checks in on me. So I would have to guess I'd be in high A, and that's in Florida, right at our spring training spot.
Okay, all right. Man, that's going to be a lot of fun to follow your career. And Shirley does a great job, and she's got one less job keeping up with where all the former Pirates are. Shirley, you have your master sheet that includes Bryant Packard.
Yes,
and,
of course.
That's one of the big parts of when you and Jeff Charles were doing the morning drive, keeping up with where everybody was and how everybody's doing.
Yes, that list has grown, especially when you talk about baseball. It has grown to almost a full page on its own. I'm not even talking about, ECU alums that are in the NFL and the CFL and other sports. So, it's a little bit of a kind of a digging situation because there's a lot of moving parts, and
some teams keep up with things better than others as far as stats.
So you have to kind of dig a little bit, and sometimes things change where you get moved up or moved back down, and within the span of a week. So it takes a little bit of digging around, but I did my best to try to keep up with everything.
The life of a ball player. Mike Wright had success over in the KBO. Bryant, did you ever think of, hey, I'm going to go play Korean baseball and leave this MLB thing behind?
Dude, they pay good. They pay really well. I think that'd be an awesome experience, but I think I'd rather stay in the United States for a little bit.
Adam Jones, who had a great MLB career, is tearing it up in Japan right now, I believe. He's
signed like a $1 million contract to play in Japan
and just hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, that's what he does. All right, so Bryant Packard is here. We're watching baseball as the White Sox trailing the Indians right now 4-2 in the fifth inning. What's your reaction when you see what happened with the Marlins, the outbreak, and you talk to your guys that are on the taxi squad or on the big league squad with Detroit? How much precautions are going into what they're doing, and were you surprised to see an outbreak like this from a team with all the precautions that are being taken?
I mean, the precautions are set in paper, but you watch the game and they don't really abide by them that much. I mean, there's a lot of physical contact after. I mean, it's so hard not to give your buddy a high five after a home run. I get it. It's just, I think it's going to get worse just because the Marlins are not the only team doing this. And like I was telling you earlier, they played the Phillies the night that they got it. Rice Hoskins has to have the first baseman for the Phillies, or there's a really good chance. And
that's the highest traffic area, right?
First base, holding the runner on. He gives it to Didi to Gorius. It's all over the place. It's tough. But I think they're doing a good job in the minor leagues because they're not playing other teams. They're hanging out with the same guys every single day. So it's obviously different at that level.
And it appears that the MLS is in their bubble, the NBA's in their bubble, and it sounds like the NHL is going to get going on Saturday. They've done the numbers are good where there's not a lot of positive tests in the NHL at all. So baseball's different. The NFL is going to be different because you guys are not in one area. You're traveling. You're getting on planes. You're you're going different places. So I don't know. It's almost like this Major League Baseball deal is the guinea pig, like the trial run to see how pro sports could work.
I'm interested to see. Obviously, I hope it doesn't happen, but what if somebody gets it and gets like terminally ill? You know what I mean? Like, or someone, I hope not, dies. What happens then? Are they going to keep playing, or would they shut down the whole league? Because that's when it starts getting serious. But who knows?
And the Freddie Freeman deal, he had 104 temperature, and he was bad off with it, and then he got over it. Now he's hitting baseballs. So I think I like to see that even though that an outbreak did happen with one team, and as you said, it could have spread to the Phillies, which, by the way, they're not playing tonight either, and might not play for a little while, so maybe they are doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But the games go on.
Yeah.
It's kind of like life, right? Like, this is a terrible thing, and, it's affecting people, but in some ways, life can still go on. You kind of have to, right?
Yeah, and they're in a very fortunate position to be able to do that. They're professional athletes. You know, they're some of the healthiest people in the world. But it is good to see them finally figure out a way. I mean, for how long did we think that it wasn't going to happen? Back and forth, and it finally does happen. So it's good to see, at least, man.
Yeah, and it's nice to have. I mean, you're an athlete, but you're a sports fan.
Yeah,
isn't it nice for the morale just to have stuff to turn on?
Yeah, well, I'm a baseball fan, and I got the MLB.com. I was paying for it for no reason for the first couple months. So, it's
they don't give you that for free as a player.
No,
we got to work
minor
on that.
League baseball player, they pay for lunch and stuff. That's about it.
They got to at least give you the MLB package.
That's tough out
to
here,
watch
man.
your guys.
Yeah.
Tough out here. Pack is looking for a job if anybody's hiring.
I'm looking for a job.
Let them know.
Yeah, crazy, but
Bryant Packard here. Let's get to some other questions. Zach Maskovich wanted to know your favorite kind of tiger. Now, what are the different types of tigers?
I only know the Detroit one.
Okay. Did you watch
I
Tiger
already made
King?
that joke earlier. I did watch Tiger King.
Yeah.
I should have sucked, man. I dyed my hair because of him.
Because of who?
The
Joe
Tiger
Exotic?
King. Yeah.
You dyed your hair because of Joe Exotic?
Thought it looked cool. It was more of an influence thing.
How'd your folks feel about that?
My parents didn't care. Girlfriend hated it. Didn't go over too well. But
speaking of your parents, Bryant, I saw you post about your mom the other day, and it was pretty neat. Her and I guess as good a spirits as she could have. Throwing out some support to the Tigers on opening day and everything. That was pretty cool. But how's she doing right now?
First of all, she hates getting her picture taken, so we had to kind of beg her to be able to post that. But she's doing all right, man. It's hard. She's going back through the chemotherapy, so obviously all I can do is be there for her. I have to be safe with living at home with her because she's obviously at high risk. But I think she's doing as best as she can. Obviously, I love her, and all of Pirate Nation seems to love her too because they always check in on her. And it's great to have that kind of support. So she definitely appreciates it.
And you find the positive out of everything, and you not playing baseball has at least
I know.
given you an opportunity to be around your parents, your mom.
Yeah, that's what I was telling my girlfriend the other day, is that this is a great opportunity for me to spend a lot of time. I haven't been able to spend this kind of time with her since college started. So it has been a blessing in disguise to be able to spend some time at home.
All right, let's see. Well, Zach Womack has questions that aren't safe for radio.
Dude. Yeah.
How is Womack? Is he
Womack's
the
awesome.
best trainer you've ever been associated with?
Yeah, sure. I'll say that so you can smile.
I tell you what, you did spend a lot of time with him. I understand.
Yeah, he was my roommate there for a little bit. I think I started paying rent in the training room. But obviously he's helped me through a lot of stuff. But yeah, he's got some stories.
We had a question about what was the best nickname you were given. Let me see. Oh, Pete Biscano. What's up, Pete?
Oh, yeah, I can't answer that one.
Oh, crap.
Yeah, I know. It sucks.
Oh, Wesley Phillips. Okay. I hate these Twitter handles where it's Wesley Parker. Like, who's
Wesley Parker?
Yeah, that's his Twitter handle.
Oh, yeah.
At Wesley Parker 7.
Philly tries to be cool.
And
I guess I could explain the nickname. So he basically, my sophomore year, or my freshman year, I got really, really out of shape because I hurt my back.
Oh, right.
And I had to wear.
Sorry, I laughed. It's a bad story.
No, it's funny. No, it was pretty funny. But I had to wear this back brace, and it formed love handles for me that just stuck out like, dude, I don't even know how to describe it. And he basically called me gut butt because my gut and my butt were like the same width out of my body, and I was up there. I was out of shape. So
yeah. Gut butt. All right, I'm not going to call you
that was the PG version.
I haven't earned the right.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good. Brandon Manning, former Viking, former Bulldog, former Pirate, says, better BP, Mills or Godwin?
Oh, jeez. I'll have to say Mills.
You got any good Mills stories? He's a character.
Mills stories? Yeah.
Jason Mills, by the way, head coach at Conley.
I have one. We were... I guess it's not that funny, but we were playing absolutely terrible. I don't know what point of the season it was at, but we were just playing terrible. And before BP, I was the first guy in there, and I swing and completely let go of my bat and shatter my bat. And he brings us in there and cussing, mad, upset. And he throws every single ball of BP as hard as he possibly can for the next hour and a half. And, dude, I caught one on the elbow. He's just... Mills is a great coach. He obviously helped me out with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Mills stories, but PG.
Pretty intense, dude.
Yeah.
And his work, too, with the Evo Shield Canes. Did you play Showcase Baseball, Legion Ball? What would you do?
Yeah, I played. Well, Mills kind of hooked me up with the Canes when I was like 15, and I ended up playing like Canes National when I was 17. Playing with there was a lot of good players on that team. I played Legion Ball with Meadows for a little bit. For like 2 weeks before, and then Cliff said, "Hey, you gotta stop that.
Oh, really?
I don't want you to get hurt." But yeah, I played with Mills. Was my coach for high school and in summer ball for like a combined 6 years.
I'm sure there's great coaches across the country, but it does seem like we're blessed, like with. RV is a freaking legend.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Meadows and Mills, who are at the high school level here. There's just, like, we are a baseball town that you've grown up in.
Yeah, there's just, from Little League down. I mean, I didn't play in Greenville. I played in Winterville, but Greenville is unbelievable. Like, look at that park.
So I did, too. I was jealous of all my Greenville buddies that got to play at Elm Street Park. How about
you played at Winterville?
I played Winterville ball, yeah.
Why did we play Winterville?
Well,
I mean, Winterville's cool, but
that's my kind of thing. There's like, fields around it and stuff.
It's like Clark LeClaire Stadium over there.
You said you were gritty, Bryant. You're not Greenville. You're Winterville, man.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, we were cool. Sorry. Got away from my roots for a minute.
I know, man. You're getting the big head.
You had to convince me. Sorry.
You're getting the big head disease. All right, let's take our final timeout, Shirley. We'll come back, have 15 minutes or so before we wrap things up with Bryant Packard on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. More to go after this.
Do you think you or your employees might have been exposed to COVID-19? ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers same-day COVID-19 results. No referral needed. Same-day results available. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville offers easy employer solutions to COVID-19 testing. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville is located across from Vidant Hospital on Executive Circle behind Southern Bank. Call for an appointment or walk in. ArcPoint Labs of Greenville, 215-5688 or arcpointlabs.com. Hey Pirate Nation, this is Jonathan Ellerby, one of the proud owners and operators of Pirate Radio. As we launch into our 18th year in business, we have a lot of exciting new news to share with you. Our afternoon drive time show, Pirate Radio Live, has a new look and is now streaming every day from our brand new digital studio from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook Live, on our website, pr927fm.com, and in your car on 92.7 FM in Greenville and 104.1 in Washington. The new and improved PRL is hosted by Clip Brock and Shirley Rhodes and will feature the latest breaking news, top-notch guests, and all your favorite Pirate Radio personalities like The Voice, Jeff Charles, Brian Bailey, Stephen Igoe, Billy Weaver, Brian North, Tony Collins, Bryce Williams, Marcus Crandall, Ronnie Woodward, Morgan Ehlers, Mike Mullis, plus Troy D and myself. Give us a follow on social media at PR927FM for programming updates, guest alerts, and breaking news. Thank you for your loyalty and support, and I hope you enjoy the new and improved Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
When you don't have time to go to lunch, let Jimmy John's deliver lunch to you. With Jimmy John's, we can get a freaky fresh sandwich to you freaky fast. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com. Dinner's great. It's one of your top 3 favorite meals. You just don't want to have to make it. Well, with Jimmy John's, you don't have to. Whether you live in a sandwich delivery zone or head into the store, you can always get a freaky fresh sandwich. Click to order at jimmyjohns.com.
In studio with Gloria from Kinetic Physical Therapy. Gloria, what is aquatic therapy?
Yeah, so aquatic therapy is the act of physical therapy but in water. But more specifically, aquatic therapy are for those people who may feel weak or in pain due to an injury or a disability. So with them being in water, they're more mobile to stimulate jumping and running, so it's just more easier for them. At Kinetic, we have a heated saltwater pool where our therapists work hands-on with our patients to rehab their injuries.
Visit kptonline.com for more information. Did you know you can help prevent natural gas emergencies? Whether you're planting a tree, putting up a fence, landscaping, or starting an excavation project, Greenville Utilities strongly encourages you to follow the law and call NC 811. Even minor contact with a natural gas pipeline could cause a natural gas emergency. Before digging or excavation of any kind, North Carolina law requires you call NC 811. Please call at least 3 full working days in advance so all utility lines can be professionally marked prior to digging. Stay safe, avoid damages, and call 811 before you dig.
With rates being historically low, now is the best time to buy or refinance your home. This is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now is the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250 and 685-842. Equal housing lender.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey, Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs, 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville, across from Ron Ayers Motorsports, and in Chocowinity, next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is assistant football coach Drew Dudzik, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back to the show. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Angel Oak Home Loans and give Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager a call at 751-2060. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here is your host, Clip Brock.
All right, thank you, Shirley Rhodes. We will talk some Orioles baseball on tomorrow's show and Thursday's show. Tomorrow we'll talk to Mark Brown, CamdenChat.com, about the O's little mini hiatus here, although we could have O's baseball tomorrow night. It looks like they might revise the schedule and play the Yankees coming up on Wednesday, so we'll have some news for you on that. We'll talk O's baseball with their longtime announcer, Jim Hunter, coming up Thursday here on Pirate Radio Live. We will go inside the Orlando bubble, I guess twice coming up later this week. We'll talk to Zach Maskovich, who's down there covering all the events, and also Todd Graffinini, the play-by-play voice of the New Orleans Pelicans, who was there inside the bubble ready to watch Zion and the Pels. They play Thursday nights. We'll talk to him Friday after the first game and find out how that bubble deal is working down there in Florida. That'll be fun to have some basketball on. You got the Canes coming back on Saturday, taking on the Rangers in their best-of-3 series. So, Bryant, Packard, we got some sports coming back. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's good to see all sorts. I haven't even watched that much hockey, but I probably will find myself watching hockey or something or learn about it.
I don't watch UFC or I don't watch a ton of NASCAR, but that has changed in the last few months.
Really?
I'm all in now.
Yeah, I've gotten into golf. I'm terrible at it. I shoot like 200, but I've watched the Travelers tournament. I've been watching everything. So
you play it now, or just?
Yes, I'm so bad. I bought right-handed clubs because I didn't want to mess up my left-handed baseball swing.
Ah, interesting.
So, yeah, I played in Mr. Chuck's tournament the other day though. We actually did pretty good, but I'm learning.
Let's see. Chad says Winterville has come a long way since we were out there playing ball. That is true, Chad.
Yeah, that is true.
And true for Pack as well. Igoe says Winterville Wolves for life.
Wolves.
I believe, was that some kind of travel deal, Igoe? You'll have to let me know. I don't know.
I also played football in Winterville, and that was fun. That was...
Who'd you play for? The Chiefs,
I played for the
Cowboys,
Chiefs.
Colts? I know there was only a handful of teams.
Yeah, there's like 5 of us, and the Jets would win every year. But
Is that right?
I was just happy to be there.
I played for the Colts as a kid and was an assistant coach for the Cowboys.
You look like a Colt.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Thank you. Is that a compliment?
That's a compliment.
All right. Bryant Packard is hanging out today inside the Pirate Radio studios. 10 to 12 AAU baseball, says Stephen Igoe. Winterville Wolves. See, I don't even know. I guess there was travel baseball. Like, I made All-Stars one year in Winterville Ball, but that was it. Like, I don't remember all the showcase stuff and that stuff being popular back then.
That started the showcase. Oh, well, not showcase. The travel ball started when I moved here, I guess, because that was why my dad was so psyched to move here. Because we moved from Pennsylvania, and there was no travel ball really, because other than in the summer a little bit. But here you can play in the fall. You know, they'll find somewhere for you to play. We played in Rocky Mount a lot growing up, Goldsboro, Tarboro. So,
did you ever have a time, Pack, where you were burning?
When I got into college as a freshman, just because it was so hard. Like, the stuff that we went through, I was a little burnt out. I got hurt, felt sorry for myself, but other than that, I've always been all over it.
Did you have upperclassmen saying, it gets better? Like, did you need to be told that? Like,
yeah, a little bit. And then there's guys like Cruz that are bullies. I'm just kidding. That are just
a freshman.
Yeah, well, they don't want to take it easy on you because they knew, they went through the same stuff.
Yeah,
so they're just, they're in your, and I think I'd rather it that way. Those guys were hard on us that senior class, but I think it helped, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially with how bad our year went. So.
Pack, so what's next for you? I guess you are going to keep on training. And again, the Tigers, you made a good point earlier that not all organizations are created equal. You've got some big league squads that are set. You've got some teams that are building for the future. I think the Tigers are in the latter part of that, where they got a lot of young guys they want to see. So, I mean, there's a shot that you could be playing ball this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, what if, what happens to the Marlins happens to the Tigers? And then they need guys, they bring guys up from the taxi squad. So, obviously, I'm ready. That's all I can do is just work out and hit every day. If they're paying me to do that, it's not a bad gig. But obviously, it'd be really awesome to be up there.
No doubt. A few more of your ECU memories, Pack. What kind of stands out from your career in Greenville?
Well, you always ask me about like a Cliff Godwin story, so I have.
You got one prepared?
I do
this
have a
time?
good one.
Oh, okay.
Just because we brought up the USF thing earlier. And how much I hate them. This is what sparked my hatred, I think, for USF. So we're in the conference tournament, and I was the kid, like I talked to you about earlier, the fat kid with the back brace.
What was the name? Gut butt.
Yeah. Me, right here. Yep. So I was in the stands. I was the iPad guy. So I was jotting down every pitch. And the USF fans are just destroying me. They're just making fun of me, like just yelling at Brickhouse's sister and his mom. And I get down on the field. They're just arguing the whole game. And we end up walking them off, I think. Isn't it Kirk Morgan? Isn't that when he walked them off? I don't know. But we're walking onto the field, and their coach tells me to shut the F up.
Oh, boy.
Their head coach. And I was like, what the hell? And I start, yelling at them. I'm trying to keep it PG, yelling at them. And Cliff comes, Coach G says, "Hey, Packard, what the hell are you doing? You ain't going to hurt anybody." Nobody's scared of you. I'm like, dude, come on.
Wow.
Like,
way to have your back.
Yeah, so I just walk back.
That's hilarious.
Head, tail between my legs.
So this was there, or did you say tournament?
This was at the conference tournament.
Oh, okay, yeah. Morgan had the bunt, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The walk-off bunt.
Yeah. I remember that game now.
Yeah, I was in the stands charting.
That was a fun run.
Yeah.
Pack, you ain't going to hurt nobody.
Dude, yeah. It's like, nobody's scared of you. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Doug's got a good story. He said, Pack, first of all, thinking and praying about your mom. He said, secondly, his son retrieved your last home run at Clark LeClaire at the regional, tore up his hand trying to scale the fence to the practice field to retrieve it, and then gave it to you after the game. He said that was pretty neat. Watching the ball sail over our head in right field was an incredible experience. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that was pretty cool. I remember him giving it to me, and I think it's on my mom's dresser right now. So thank you, Doug, and your son for hurting his hand climbing the fence.
How many of those do you got at home? Like like important milestone baseballs and stuff like that? Do you have a collection right now?
I usually lose them.
Yeah.
And then find a random ball to write something on. So, it's definitely not the same. But I have a few. I was actually looking through stuff the other day because what else am I going to do? So I found a box of baseballs with a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Josh says if Pack wants to play golf, tell him to hit him up anytime.
I will.
Josh Thomas. You can reach out to him.
Yeah, all right, Josh, I will.
Play some golf with
If you
him.
want to see some terrible golf.
That's pretty interesting. You brought up the right-handed clubs not to mess up your swing. I didn't know if it was a myth, if it was just like a talking point for announcers, but like after the home run derby, they'll say like, "Oh, this guy he totally screwed up his swing in the home run derby." Like, does that stuff happen? Like,
I don't think so, but like when I was 12 years old and 13 years old, I thought it would. So that's when I swung right-handed, and I guess I just kind of got used to it. But I don't think it would mess up our swing because there's guys like Jake Washer that hit a golf ball 300 yards and then can hit a baseball 400 feet. So I don't think it really does mess you up.
Did you ever try to go switch hitter?
Oh yeah. Didn't work though.
Oh yeah. Didn't work.
I'm getting BP, but
so you'll stick to being a lefty.
Yeah, I will.
How's your? I remember I read your draft profile. I don't know if I put it on Twitter or talked to you about it, where it said you lack speed. How are you getting better in the speed department?
Trying to not lack speed.
Are you gonna be slow for life?
I think I'm gonna be slow for life, man. Like,
not everybody's got speed.
Yeah, I run all the time. It just doesn't work. I'm here to tell you, man. I don't know what to do.
Would you rather be fast or hit 400, people? I'll take 400, right?
I'll take 400.
All right, that's okay.
Yeah,
you did that. Not everybody can say that. That's for sure. We are watching the White Sox and Indians playing right now. Got some baseball coming up tonight. Pack will be checking out his Tigers as they play the Royals. And again, it'd be great to see you get up there. And what does the feel of the organization right now, Pack? Is it kind of that youth energized type thing where watch out for us in a few years?
I think that's how it is, honestly, just because if you looked at the AA pitching staff with the Seawolves for the Tigers, it's Casey Mines, Tarek Scrubel, Matt Manning. They're just all first round picks that have just been building up. So I would say it's definitely exciting, and they've had some big hires. They've kind of switched more to analytics, so that's good on us trying to catch up. So I think it's a very exciting time. Everybody has a great attitude every day because they're excited because it can't get worse, I guess.
It's 2020. You're out of college in the pro ball. At what point did you start to look at the analytics stuff? At what point did that start being brought to you by coaches and people?
I'll say I dove into it myself my sophomore year.
Okay.
And you can call it analytics. What I just basically tried to do was start hitting the ball in the air more my sophomore year, and it ended up working out for me that year. And but I got
that was your 400 year, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
which is interesting. You say hit the ball in the air more, which makes it sound like there's so much strikeout or home run stuff these days, but you're hitting opposite field and everything.
Yeah.
So not necessarily hit the ball in the air more just for home runs, just to hit it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's always that little league coach who's like, there's no bad hops in the air. So there's just there's people like that. You grow up your whole life, you're taught to chop at the ball, and then you see what Aaron Judge is in it. Ground ball after ground ball. He's trying to elevate the ball. So that's an idea. Obviously, you still have to be a complete hitter and not try to sell out completely to home runs. But I've tried to make myself more of a complete hitter instead of like a line drive guy.
Okay, and I'm a Braves fan, so I watch a lot of Freddie Freeman, and he does have pop, he does have power, but the way he can work the bat and hit it into that left center gap.
He's a wizard.
And I mean, I saw you do quite a bit of that in your career.
Yeah, and Freddie Freeman's actually a big advocate against the analytics and stuff. And
really?
Yeah, he's very old school with his.
Which kind of tells you there's a lot of different ways to do this, right?
There's Josh Donaldson, and then there's Freddie Freeman, who kind of put up the same numbers every year.
Yeah.
It's weird, but I'm a big Freddie fan.
Yeah. All right. Wrapping things up here with Bryant Packard. Pack, anything else before you go?
No.
Do we hit on everything?
I think we got everything. I appreciate all the questions, people.
Good stuff, man. Keep in touch.
Yeah, I will, for sure.
And and we'll do this again. Talking to Nate Connor. Was he out there at Conley when you were there?
Yeah, he took over the head coach position, right? Yeah, my junior year.
Was like Maloney and Connor trying to get you to Did you play any other
I
sports?
played basketball.
You played hoops?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, man.
Damn, we could have done a whole segment on that.
No, it was my freshman year.
I gotta get. Who was your coach?
Maloney.
Maloney.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. That's my next question for
yeah.
Maloney when I get him on.
I averaged 4 fouls and 2 points, I think.
All right. Scrappy.
Yeah.
Gritty, just like a Winterville kid. Sounds good. Pack, enjoyed it. What you got, Shirley?
Well, just wanted to pass along some news that have come across. Of course, we mentioned this earlier, but former Pirate Garrett McGinn, who was released by the Bills earlier this week or over the weekend, has been picked up by the Jacksonville Jaguars off of waivers. So congratulations to him.
You told us that an hour ago, and we talked about it with Igoe and Packard off the air, and I forgot to bring it up on the air. That's awesome, man.
I won't care.
Yeah. Also, Lincoln Riley has agreed to a new 6-year contract that will take him through 2025, and Zion has been cleared to practice tonight.
All right. Shirley Rhodes with some breaking news. It's great to have sports news.
Yeah.
That's
How
awesome.
about that?
Good for Lincoln, and great for Garrett. What a great dude.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Hope to talk to him again soon. So he's hanging out with Gardner Minshew now in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah. How about
That's a buddy comedy right there.
Yeah, you think he hooked him up?
Yeah, perhaps. I want to see that duo just hit the town.
That'd be fun.
All right, Pack. We'll talk to you soon, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Bryant Packard hanging out on a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. Shirley, Glenn, we'll see y'all tomorrow at 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate